Hello and good evening, everybody, football fans around the world, and welcome to another episode of the Gauntlet podcast. I'm joined by my team of guys that's been on the show pretty much throughout the entirety. A lot of stuff that we got to talk about today. We got to talk about everything that happened in week one, look ahead at week two, sports morons, and a lot of other stuff that we're going to talk about. So without further ado, how you guys doing tonight? And what were your thoughts about football just finally being back in general?
I'm doing all right.
Smacking a bottle. I thought he was clapping.
I thought it was a good week of football personally. I mean, my team was not so much, but I think overall, I mean, we had a lot of good games. A lot of surprises, a lot of yep, this is why we play the games on Sunday. Type of deals. So I think overall we had a good product out there, and there was a lot of good stuff out there.
Two whole undefeated divisions and a winless one.
Yeah. Go us, right?
Apparently, no matter which conference you're in, if your division says West, you will not lose.
Yeah, I'm glad football's back for the week, James. I think it's good that football's back. We all have been missing it. I also find this week always one of the most fascinating weeks because this is the week that you read everyone's overreactions. And in a few weeks, when things change, all those people who posted all those overreactions are brought up on the scene. So I think this is going to be an interesting week.
Absolutely.
I definitely like this week in general. We definitely saw a bunch of surprises. We had some teams come out and perform like we expect them to perform, and we had some come out and fall flat when we expected them to dominate or at least keep it competitive. But for the very most part, and to Tyler's point, we do tend to overreact week one all the time. I mean, this is what we do.
Definitely.
However, I will say that it's always good to start good. It's always good to start well. 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. It's always good to have a good start, And I know they say it's not about how you start, but how you finish. But seeing as there's an actual win limit to make it to the playoffs, starting good kind of plays a role into it. So overall, I was satisfied.
I just saw something on memories that I posted.
What jersey are you wearing?
It was like 6 or 7 years ago.
AJ Green.
But we had beat someone week one, and we played the Panthers week two, and I posted something about teams that start 2-0 make the playoffs like 66% of the time. So if your team's 1-0 and you win this week, you have a good chance to make the playoffs, Eagles notwithstanding.
According to you, but we'll leave it there for now. Okay, we're gonna start with our player of the week, Mr. Ladanian Tomlinson, who was the 2006 league MVP, had an outstanding year that year where he rushed for a NFL record 28 rushing touchdowns and an NFL record had a total of 31 total touchdowns from scrimmage. So he was outstanding. He was a 3-time first-team All-Pro and a 3-time second-team All-Pro, and then a 5-time Pro Bowler as well, on top of rushing for 13,000 plus yards for his career, 145 touchdowns on the ground, and 17 receiving touchdowns to go with around 4,700 yards. So when you talk about Ladanian, he was one of the biggest weapons that you could really have on the football field. He could gash you on the ground, and he was also a major threat as a receiver, very explosive playmaker, and definitely one of the best backs of his era. And the biggest debate that people have had is between him and Adrian Peterson, who was the best running back of that era. So, he definitely had a great career, and he is one of the best we've seen. So, any thoughts you guys want to share on Ladanian?
LT, go ahead.
Just real quick. I mean, I remember getting I was in Italy and I bought John Madden in 2007. And that's when they had the player weapons. They had come out with the player weapons. And his every time they touch the ball, it's a potential home run. That's description.
There you go. Awesome. Thanks so much. Absolutely.
Like you said, he rushed for 36 touchdowns in a season. And I'll go as far as saying, if Nate Kading makes that kick in the divisional round, LT probably got a ring.
Oh, man,
Probably.
I forgot all about that.
Go ahead, Dom.
LT, from very early in his career, just from his size and his bulk, as big as his legs were, and the moves that he had, he always struck me as what Barry Sanders should have been was he properly utilized in the passing game. LT, maybe to a much lesser extent, Maurice Jones-Drew are the two closest things I've seen to Barry since Barry.
To be fair, when Barry played, they weren't really like using running backs as much.
True. Plus, we had a litany
today.
of outstanding receivers.
In today's NFL, they're probably using running backs out of the backfield more than they ever had.
The Lions sure are. I think we just set a Lions record this week. First time we've ever had two running backs with like
Timeout.
6, 7
Timeout.
more.
Timeout.
Oh, boy.
Timeout.
Timeout what?
Let's go.
You're talking about they didn't use running backs in what capacity out the backfield?
In the passing game.
You know how much running
So
backs
what
are
about-
being used today as receivers?
Versus
So
today, he's saying.
but players like Thurman Thomas were back then, and they are receiving backs as well.
Sure.
There was
Roger
also
Craig.
Roger Craig.
Yep.
There was also Marion Mott.
Okay, maybe there was a few, but it's not even close. Today,
Right, but
almost
back-
everyone is using their running backs in the passing
But
game.
I can argue
They weren't using them as much back then.
I can argue the case that everybody's using running backs and not using them for what they're for, which is actually running back. They use them as receivers, which is the difference between back then, which they use them as running backs and receivers. That's what I can argue, because I think they definitely did do it back then, because that's kind of what elevated you as. That's what made Barry who he was, because he could do both. And he's like Thurman Thomas, who could do both. He's like Roger Craig, could do both. Joe Perry could do both.
JJ, you got any thoughts on Ladanian?
Don't compare Thurman Thomas to Barry Sanders.
What you mean bring Thurman Thomas in? It fits. Did he not catch receiving passes? Did he not be one of the best receiving backs?
He did. Anyways, back to
Yes, he's good. But do you have any thoughts on Ladanian Tomlinson?
Oh, Ladanian's my favorite running back of the 2000s. Outside, of course, my own team. I had the creamsicle Ladanian Tomlinson jersey when I was 13 years old. On Madden, I averaged 200 rushing yards a game on Madden 02 with Ladanian Tomlinson. I literally love Ladanian for the simple fact of his MVP season as a running back. I honestly thought he was going to go for 2,000 and get the running touchdown record, because he was unstoppable.
He was that good.
It's unfortunate how that season ended. It is very
that's what Jay was saying.
because that would have been the icing on the cake. He would have had a Terrell Davis type year. He'd have ended the year in the Super Bowl with the MVP as the best player on the team if they'd have made it past New England, and that happened.
That's really the only gripe I have with Ladainian Tomlinson is his playoff numbers. I mean, if you look at the playoff stats of Ladainian Tomlinson, he did.
We got like 10 check-ins left.
He did underachieve a little bit in the playoffs, but as a regular season player, he is absolutely one of the best. He's fantastic.
That's the Chargers as a whole, though, for 25 years.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, and don't take this like a negative way, because it's not. I think Ladanian's his own man, and he's an absolute star, and he doesn't need people around him. But kind of like James Harden, has these regular seasons that he's so special, and even Paul George until this last year.
Dare do Ladanian Tomlinson?
But I'm just saying But I'm just saying But he won an MVP in the regular season. I know you don't like him. I get it. You don't like Westbrook. You don't like certain people. I get it, Dom. But I'm just saying, like, his playoff numbers didn't show the kind of player he was in the regular season. Regular season, he's getting 3 more yards per carry. I mean, look at the playoff stats. Look them up.
Right. Statistically, I agree with your point. It just broke my heart because I love LT, and you know how much I hate all those other
I love Ladanian Tomlinson, too. I'm not trying to rain on his parade. I think he's one of the best players I've ever watched at the running back position. I think it also helps that, like, when you have Antonio Gates on the team and you have a really good tight end, you can set up that play action pass, and they were very, very, very filthy with it back then.
They were great with that.
I blame Philip Rivers.
Remember,
Okay, would you guys rather have?
My own guy, Adrian? I mean, LT was my favorite running back to watch run the ball. So just play football. I mean, he just was like he's special. He's smooth with it. You know, his hands were great. You know, he could block well. He did everything. So, you know, I'm obviously gonna kind of be a homer and pick Adrian of a running back that I would have chose. But because he was so great, he was great for us. He did a lot of
either one are fine picks.
But
any franchise would be lucky to have either one.
I can't really be mad at someone who says, like, well, you know, I like LT. He does a little bit more in the passing game, so that fits our offense a little bit. So maybe that's what you go for. But they're both great. I'm glad we got to watch them both run, you know, and I mean, they're both, you know, they're both Hall of Famers. They're both like they're special players.
If we're talking about two-way threats at running back, you know who I'd rather have than either one of them, besides Barry Sanders? Marshall Faulk.
No way.
What?
Nope.
What?
No, I think Marshall's up there.
I think LT's better than Marshall though.
Marshall.
Absolutely.
I'm taking.
I think LT was a better version of Marshall Faulk.
I think Marshall needs mentioned though. I think a lot of people kind of give Marshall a little bit of
Marshall Faulk.
Well, I think a lot of people give him a lot.
I love LT, but who was the catalyst of the greatest show on turf?
I mean, Marshall definitely deserves to be. My
thing is people look at Kurt Warner and they look at Isaac Bruce and they look at Torrey Holt and they look at all those people and they don't give enough credit to Marshall sometimes.
I mean, they're all Hall of Famers. Torrey Holt's still not in.
Well, they're all good. So yeah, they're gonna get credit.
Amazing.
You know,
but that shouldn't be against Marshall.
No, you're right. It shouldn't at all. If anything, I think Kurt Warner gets a little more credit than he should.
I mean, you know, Marshall Faulk actually is the second running back.
You don't have any trouble with
$1,000 in the season.
Yep, 1,000. Roger Craig was the first one, right?
Roger Craig was the first. Marshall Faulk was the second.
I was maybe a little bit too young to remember the Roger Craig, but I remember Marshall Faulk, and I was like, wow. He was the first running back. Dude, he had like 80 catches one year.
Yeah.
Falk. Mike Martz was a genius. Either that or he had a lot of good players.
I actually want to go back to what Mike was talking about with Adrian and LT, like that whole debate. Honestly, I'm rolling with Adrian Peterson, and the reason why I'm doing that is because we saw him do in 2012, I believe.
Yeah,
he was coming off of a devastating injury, and he carried the Minnesota Vikings with Christian Ponder was their starting quarterback. Carried them to the playoffs while LT had Phillip Rivers.
Florida State legend,
pretty much, except for when he went to the Jets.
He didn't have Phillip Rivers the whole time. Phillip Rivers came in 2004. LT came in 2001.
Most of his career, Joseph. Most of his career, blah blah blah. Whatever.
He made the playoffs and made the Chargers relevant when he had.
Who was in a better situation, Adrian or LT?
Well, I'm saying in the beginning. Now at the end, Adrian. I mean, in the end, yeah, it was LT, but in the beginning, it was definitely not LT. LT had Curtis Conway and Freddie Jones, and that was it. The only people on that team was LT, Junior Seau, and Ronnie Harrison. There was nobody else there. And that team became positively relevant because LT was the starting catalyst for that team. Now, personally,
yes, and they also had other good playmakers like Antonio Gates, who's also a Hall of Famer. So, yeah, he was in a much better situation. And LT, we don't know if he could have took the Vikings to the playoffs, especially if he was coming off a devastating injury like Adrian was. So, yeah, that's why I just believe Adrian is more capable of carrying a team than LT is. And that's just the way I see it.
I mean, it is a Vikings team that was 2 years away from an NFC title game with Brett Favre with pretty much the same players. So I get it.
I'd be happy with either one.
2 years from
Ponder's a really bad
agreed.
We weren't that good, though. I mean, come on. Brett Favre really catapulted us. And, I mean, mostly because he had Adrian. I mean, they had each other. They worked well with each other, and
you guys had a pretty good defense, though. You had Jared Allen hitting people.
We're going to talk about Christian.
But we always have like a pretty solid defense. You know what I mean? Last year was like the worst one. I was like really, really fucking bad in recent memory. You know,
can we dedicate
all the injuries?
Future to shitty quarterbacks from the state of Florida? That could be a whole show.
And to your point, Mike Booth, I did say back then that very rarely at that time period, very rarely do you have an elite quarterback and an elite running back on the field at the same time.
Yeah.
So, still true today.
You know what? And I know it hurts, but if it wasn't for a needless 12 men on the field penalty, they're probably in the bowl.
I mean,
actually, if it wasn't for the Saints having Bounty Gate, they would have been.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I can't never come off of that.
Yeah, I hate that.
Like you did. I can't ever come off of that and just accept that they cheated.
I don't need the Vikings in any more Super Bowls than they've already been in.
Why, you don't want to watch us go 0-5, Don? Wouldn't that be fun, right?
Actually, no. I mean,
yeah, in a weird way, yeah, because Mike Booth, for the past couple of years, Mike Booth has gotten on me with the Packers losing back-to-back NFC championships. That in a weird way, it's like I kind of want the Vikings just 1 year to have this year that they go all the way to the Super Bowl just to let all their fans down.
To your point, I want to know what happened to that defense once you acquired a quarterback. What happened to it? Did it just stop working, or was it that? What happened?
Injuries last year, honestly.
Well, last year's injuries, but I mean, our defense wasn't really the problem. It's our offensive line, and I agree that Kirk Cousins is an issue because all he does is
are we calling Kirk Cousins
compound those issues. What's that?
Yeah.
We know how Joey feel about Captain Kirk.
What was that, Dom? I didn't hear you.
I said, are we calling Kirk Cousins a quarterback? I shouldn't even say that.
I mean,
I support
he's
Kirk
a
Cousins.
quarterback that gets in his own way all the time.
Yeah, look at what he look.
I'll say it again.
I'll wait until we talk about Week 1. But I was gonna say, look at what.
Okay, you know what? I'm not even trying to be disrespectful right now, but
I'm gonna be disrespectful. Go ahead.
The Vikings had more success with Case Keenum than what they've had with Kirk Cousins.
True.
Absolutely.
Hold up.
True.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there.
Why?
Who was around? Jay, you were back there. What did I say about this team when they signed him? I said he would take them no further than Case Keenum did. He would even get to where Case Keenum got them, which was the
Case
NFC
took him to the
title.
NFC Championship, bro.
Okay, but Joseph,
To the NFC title.
what
game.
makes you think that if we stayed with Case that we were going to be in a better situation?
That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
I agree with
Okay,
Mike.
okay, you were right in a nutshell, but at the same time,
Because I think you guys got scared.
Price is
about
Right.
the way-
Hey,
I
Mike.
think you guys got scared about the way you guys got blown out against Philly. Philly was going to blow out anyone who faced them that
well,
year.
yeah, Philly
I don't
fucking
necessarily think it was
The
anything.
Eagles
to do
were
with-
just that team that year, bro.
I agree
That's
with
why I
that
wasn't tripping
100%.
on Case.
Your
losing
ceiling or
because-
your final destination with Case
I
Keenum
don't-
was determined, but the ceiling wasn't any higher with
No,
Kirk Cousins.
But I don't know, Mike. Like I don't know. Like my Packers just got blew out, so you're more than welcome to speak on it too as a division foe. But watching the Vikings this week going to overtime, and granted, I know that yellow flag was being thrown even Monday morning at you guys. I get it,
Yeah,
but
that's crazy.
But that being said, Cousins and Zimmer, something seems off there.
Oh, yeah, they don't buy
and
it.
it doesn't seem like, and it doesn't like just from watching it this week, I watched it and I was like, is Minnesota going to have a losing season this year? Not, and I'm really not trying to be like, being a homer or anything I am.
Right,
but like,
yeah, no. Objectively
No,
speaking,
but,
I agree.
but
with
objectively speaking, Minnesota looks like something's off there right now.
Let me see.
I
Let me see
agree.
who Minnesota
After-
got this week.
After watching that,
Arizona.
and
Okay.
just
Oh.
Tough. That's tough.
Oh,
we'll get to
Arizona.
that in a minute.
Oh,
here.
too.
But to Tyler's point, it's between Zimmer and Kirk. There's a huge disconnect.
Yeah, something's got to
And-
change there eventually.
Rug,
Well,
who did
and the-
Chicago play this week?
They play
The Bengals.
Cincinnati. Yep.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
let's
All
actually
good,
before we talk about all the stuff that's been
week,
going
actually.
on,
Me and
with
the Bears
week
will
one
be
and
hanging out in the
everything.
basement next week too.
we got to talk about some transactions and some news that's been going on.
No.
The Baltimore Ravens just cannot catch a break, losing another player for the season. their starting guard. They lost Marcus Peters for the season, and as we know, they've lost pretty much all their running backs for the year. So it sucks for them. And obviously last night, what we saw in that game, Derek Carr actually throwing for 435 yards.
Eat some words, James.
It was very much evident that this Baltimore Ravens defense was missing Marcus Peters. Everyone talks about Marlon Humphrey, but Peters being on that other side gives them one of the better cornerback tandems that we do have in the NFL.
So
JJ, what are your thoughts on all of that?
Is he there?
Are you still with us?
So James, you're
I
not
don't
going
think you heard a word I said, so if anyone wants to take it, feel free.
You're not going to give Derek Carr any credit?
No, I wasn't that impressed by him. I think it's more indicative of
So he didn't
Baltimore.
succeed where Baker failed?
I'd rather have Baker than Derek Carr.
Yeah, but did he succeed? He threw an interception. They threw an interception. Then they got the ball back.
Derek Carr got bailed out. He threw an interception in the red zone, and he got bailed out by
Derek Carr is
costly fumble by Lamar Jackson.
Obviously, he's not in the top 10, but he's better than the next 20, and he's better than Baker Mayfield, and you can't convince me of otherwise.
Oh,
I disagree. I think that we've already seen the peak of Derek Carr, which was his season in, 2016?
16, yeah.
Where he had a really good season, and he got injured, and he just was never able to get back to that level. Baker, I don't think we've seen what Baker's ceiling is. We've seen what Carr's is, and Carr has not been able to reach that again. But Baker,
his ceiling has
the jury is still out on what can Baker Mayfield do, and we're going to see what he's able to do this season.
Stefanski has already determined what his ceiling is, and it's right where it should be.
now I actually am kind of where you just said that, Dom. Like you said, well, Derek Carr is much better than Baker Mayfield. I think they're about even.
I don't think. I'm not saying he's much better. He's better.
I agree with Tyler. I think they're right in the same space.
But they're not top 10 quarterbacks, right?
I also agree with James that Baker
the higher end of the middle tier.
Baker could get better for sure. Yeah.
With both quarterbacks, I don't. And hopefully, they do eventually get to elite status.
I don't see either one of them reaching elite status.
I don't think so either.
What's the topic of conversation now?
Baker Mayfield and Derek
Carr v. Baker Mayfield.
So isn't it ironic? Isn't it ironic that all the 2018 top tier quarterbacks all lost in this weekend? Baker, Josh, and Lamar, didn't they all lose?
Sam Darnold won.
Right, but I'm saying like the one that considered the best of their class. And they all lost in similar fashion. They were doing good in the beginning. They lost the game, and they made the one final mistake that kind of hit it.
Well, I don't really feel like the Buffalo Bills look that good, but I don't think, Joseph, you heard everything I was saying earlier, but we were talking about some of the stuff that's been going on with the Ravens, so I just want to get your thoughts on that. All the injuries, you guys lost the starting guard for the year. Forget what the guy's name was, but
so was it for the year? Because I thought I saw a report say he was just put on IR, which means
what I read was he was expected to be done for the year.
Yeah,
and also, obviously, Marcus Peters was very much missed last night. We know that the running back position has been decimated. So, do you want to share any thoughts about all that stuff?
Oh, so we're not ducking this conversation, right? Okay, cool.
I mean, maybe we'll come back to it later, but.
And Megan,
the chat at Jahan.
Megan's in the chat. Tag Jahan since he says people duck. Tag
well, Jahan is back here, but I would need one of you guys to sub out for him real quick.
I'm not going.
You want to talk?
I thought we can get 10 people on.
We can only have 6.
We think.
Oh, good. We can leave him there for a little bit. He'll be all right.
He's been there like the whole time though.
Okay, then
I don't want to keep him waiting the whole show.
Then another 5 minutes wouldn't hurt. So stop.
You want me to get off for a second?
No.
If anybody wants to sub out just for a little bit,
I can for a little bit. I can sub out for a little bit here.
Okay, we'll sub you back in later.
All right.
All right, Mike. All right, LaHon McCoy is coming in the building.
No worry. I'm gonna get that for
downgrade.
Wait.
All right.
The champ is here.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Lahan
Champ is
McCoy
here.
making his sports
Hey,
gauntlet
somebody
debut.
else.
What's up, my man?
What's going on?
All right. So just talking about NFL news and things like that. So let's just go ahead and
This man did a bogey right on the camera. Man,
okay.
dog.
So
There you go.
anything else? What about
Here.
Marshawn Lattimore and his contract extension? Do you guys have any thoughts?
Oh, I was going to get back to the Ravens thing now that Mr. Man's here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Here we go.
I am all ears for this.
Quack, quack. Okay, let's talk. All right, listen. It's kind of the same thing I was leading to the other ones. I look at these guys. I look at let's start with my quarterback. I look at a guy that looks like he can get there, but he's at the part of how he has to get there. You cannot make some of the decisions that you have made in that game. And I'm not just specifically speaking on the fumble, because I've said it on my live yesterday in the Thor Sports Chat that Jahan did not get on, that when he tends to run the ball, hello, man.
I'm in 511.
Look how fake he is.
Today, can I get towels?
Yes.
Because I'm checking basketball.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
going to go have a cigarette. Can I pick them up here?
We can bring it to your room.
Lord
Okay.
help us.
All right, thank you.
Bring it to a room, Joseph.
Because it's on request. You have to request.
Jay, can you pass that bottle?
You did? I'll talk.
Cup's
I'm
running a
sorry
little low.
about that. I'm so sorry about that.
Thank
man.
you. Pass the Cavassier. Please and thank you. Appreciate it.
This man, Dom. Look at this guy.
No, but to your point, I just think you can't make those decisions. I'm with you on the Marcus Peters. It showed a lot of
Your hat.
inefficiencies with the
Eagles
team
hat.
right now. And poor Villanueva, he needed help. I mean, Mason Crosby, who, by the way, had a good rookie campaign and is one of the first picks from the Khalil Mack trade, is looking like they weren't wrong. They weren't wrong for taking him and getting rid of Khalil Mack. He was all over the line. He knew he had the matchup one against Villanueva. Personally, and at the end of the day, I'm happy with some of the passing game that we had in terms of Sammy Watkins still beating you deep, Hollywood beat them deep. But at the same time, do you see any hitches? Do you see any stop and goes? Do you see any drags? Do you see any crossers? Do you see any trips formation? Do you see any of those formations from the Ravens right now?
I saw a Ravens L.
I'm gonna.
That
I'm
was
gonna,
right.
I'm gonna
There was a
keep
Ravens
quiet on
L.
this because whatever I say, you're not gonna like it, and you're gonna try to refute it. So never mind.
Nah, just say it. Yo, speak your piece, man. That's-
Listen,
Yeah,
I don't
speak
think
your
that.
I'm used
I think
to
that Lamar just made a costly mistake that cost him an overtime, but
I think that the
I
playbook that
blame
they've
it
drawn up for
mostly on
Lamar
the
Jackson
defense
was
because
written out of
they
every
pretty much
cat
got
with a
smoked.
crayon.
I mean, they blew a 14-0 lead.
Don't sleep on them Raiders, boy.
The Raiders have a winning record on Monday Night Football, says Megan.
Don't sleep on
Huh,
them Raiders.
I didn't
boy.
know that. I didn't know that. All I remember is when Brett Favre
I'm telling
dad
you,
had just died, and they
this
just
week proved-
humiliated that
This
franchise.
week
on
proved the
Monday Night
AFC
Football.
West is a lot tougher than people think. Watch
Man,
out!
mind you,
Watch out!
mind
The
you-
for those
AFC
two.
West?
Okay.
Hold
So
on,
now
mind
that we're
you-
just talking about the NFL stuff, we might as well just go to our next segment, which is talking about everything from week one. So we will start with the West going 8-0. Like, how impressed were you guys by a lot of these teams?
Remember, people didn't believe in the Las Vegas Raiders. I did. People
Thank
don't
you.
believe in them.
Thank
I don't
you.
have the questions people
You
have.
didn't
against
pick the Raiders to win, though. You picked your own team.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick my own team. I
I
said
don't
that. I
think
said they
they're
were a
gonna-
10-win team.
But you did say they were going to win like 12 games.
10-11. I have them at 11-6. I told y'all that. I just didn't think one of their wins would be us, but it was.
Jeez.
We all know the NFC West and stuff, but it was more of a surprise for the AFC West, I think.
Just
I
the
wasn't
Broncos and
impressed.
the
I
Raiders.
wasn't impressed with the Chiefs. I just want to throw that out there. I wasn't impressed with the Chiefs.
No, not
I
me
also-
either.
No, weren't.
Well,
I mean, I'm
the
not
Chiefs are
impressed.
always going to be the Chiefs. It's whatever.
I mean,
So-
I'm not impressed with Denver, Dom.
It's
They
the
beat the
Brown-
New
it's the
York
Browns
Giants.
I'm
on
more
opening day.
impressed with Denver than a lot of people are.
The Lions.
I'm gonna
the
explain
They
Lions
beat,
could
they beat
the
a really
Browns.
bad football team.
The Lions
Yeah, they
could have beat
did.
the Browns on opening
It's
day.
true.
Hey, speaking of Denver,
No.
they just
No.
booty to a nasty foot injury.
Listen, I'm just going to say this about Denver. Teddy
I picked
Bridgewater
them this
looked a
week.
lot better than I thought
Exactly.
he would, bro.
He's not going
I
to win
mean,
you a bunch of games, but he's not going to lose you very many either.
No,
I
I mean he
think-
was good. Like you expect him to be like pretty stationary.
Oh no,
He's not really known for being an athletic quarterback, but he was
played
making
well.
he was making a lot of good throws where he was rolling out and getting outside the pocket, escaping pressure.
His
So I was actually really impressed by Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy's athleticism is underrated. He's not a great athlete. He's a good athlete. It's like Dak.
No,
I picked Denver to beat New York Giants this week, but that being said, even picking them, I picked them because I really don't think very highly of the New York Giants, and I haven't all offseason, and I think they're only going to win like 4 games this year.
The Giants
are terrible. We're going to see them play on Thursday night against the Washington football team, who also lost to another AFC West team, Chargers.
Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
So, any
Chargers,
thoughts on that?
yeah. I mean, for one, impressive from the Chargers. You go all the way from California to go to Washington, but it is week 1, so fatigue and the season hasn't kicked in. If this would have been like a week 4, week 5, week 6 kind of game, travel restrictions or, traveling from all the way from California to Washington, I think it could have been a big difference. But I like their offensive line, and I said it all off season too. What they did getting Corey Linsley and those guys blocking, like no one was getting pressure on Herbert. The problem that the Chargers had in that game was the same problem that Washington still looks somewhat good at. I wasn't as impressed with their defense this week, but the red zone defense is still very good.
Yep.
Like,
You know what?
And that was a fun game.
Chase Young didn't do shit. I was a little bit surprised.
You know what?
That whole front four didn't really do
Week 1 overreactions. Week 1 overreactions. Number 1. Is Washington really the team that
Megan heard me say Dak and got angry.
Is Washington the team that everyone thinks they are? Or are they I was unimpressed. I'll be honest. And Fitzpatrick is out and Heineke is gonna be quarterback going forward.
Somebody said bring back RG3.
But when you have,
oh man, that's not
that would be something. That would be
not
something if they did that.
So James, let me ask you this: you say you're unimpressed, right? What's your take on the Chargers? Because if you think they're a good team,
I think the Chargers are good.
So then they played a good team that was just as good as them. So it doesn't really surprise that they lost. They played a good team.
No, it's just the way that Washington played. This isn't what I expected to see. I expected more from Gibson and McClure. Their playmakers weren't there. The defense is good still, but I don't know if I trust their offense against a lot of other top-tier offenses.
I'm actually surprised. I would say the biggest surprise is you guys. I knew you guys were going to win your game, but I kind of thought because back in the statistically, the Falcons would always put up points, and they would get yards. They would score. They didn't yesterday, and they did it against a team that had questions.
I thought Kyle Pitts would have a better game than he did. I thought Calvin Ridley would have a better game than he did.
Well, Atlanta was on our ass on the first 2 drives. They were going down the field like nothing.
What's the question? What's the question we're talking about? Were you talking about the East, the NFC East?
Joseph brought up the Falcons, so I decided I was going to take it. So
I thought we were talking about the surprises. That's the only reason why I brought it up. I was just like, I was surprised that.
Well, we were talking about the West at first, so
the West,
all the AFC West went 4-0, and the NFC West went 4-0. So
bring back.
So Seattle, they kind of kicked the Colts' ass. Carson Wentz, he had an okay game, but the Colts, they really didn't look that good on both sides of the ball. Russell Wilson had a really good game. The 49ers, they were blowing out the Lions, but the Lions almost came back in that game, and they put up a lot of yards and points. So that was pretty interesting.
Watch out for that Lions offense.
Yeah. And Arizona. Let's talk about Kyler Murray. He had a great game, too. This guy, he made a off-balance throw. It was like some NFL street stuff. He just launched a dime off of his back foot, and they scored a touchdown. The Arizona Cardinals are here, man. I think that they're just as much of a threat to win the NFC West as any team is. And I don't think enough people they're not taking them seriously enough.
Yeah,
and I think they can contend with Seattle or San Fran or the Rams.
I would At this point, I would slide the Cardinals a notch above the Niners at this point because we almost beat the Niners. How did that Detroit Lions offense put up 33 points on the vaunted 49ers defense?
Because the Lions made adjustments.
The Lions made adjustments.
Jared
and
Goff.
the 49ers played on their heels. They went up
The
big.
49ers
Well,
didn't take.
yeah.
They took
It's
their
so
foot off the
shocking to me
gas.
because
They
that's
took
not
their foot off the
something I'm
gas,
used to my
yeah.
team doing. We don't make adjustments. We don't do that. I literally saw none of that game till the last 2 plays.
I mean, the
Okay,
first
then
half.
How
the
can you
first
give
half,
an educated guess as to what happened if you didn't watch the game?
Oh, and James, as far as the Cardinals and Titans game, I see your Kyler Murray, and I'll raise you Chandler Jones. That dude was a terrorist.
He was
out there.
unstoppable. He was unstoppable too. 5 sacks.
3
And
in the
two-
first quarter,
and 2 forced fumbles. Yep.
Chandler Jones is a monster.
If I'm not
The
mistaken,
Patriots-
isn't he on the All-Decade 2010 team?
Doesn't
The
he
New
have
England
doesn't he
Patriots-
have more sacks than anyone else in the league the last 5 years?
I'm going to get to that. The Patriots, when they traded him, or since they've traded him, he has 66 sacks. In 3 of those seasons, he's had over 13 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the Patriots really fucked up with that. We know how Belichick is, where when players reach a certain age, he tries to capitalize and get rid of them before they turn 30 and go downhill. But that has not happened at all.
Yeah, the Cardinals went all in between getting him and then J.J. Watt. I don't know what he did the other day, but
The Cardinals are here. They have what it takes.
They can be formidable.
No, they're not just formidable. They need to be taken seriously as a playoff team. If the Rams are being taken that way, if the 49ers are being taken that way, Arizona needs to be taken that way. They've got great players on both sides of the field. Kyler Murray is ready to take that next step, and he's going to do it. So as long as he stays consistent, sky's the limit for Arizona.
I'd agree.
Absolutely.
All right, so I guess that's it with the West talk. So let's go ahead and let's go to the East. And no NFC East team won except for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I guess we'll start with the first game, which was on Thursday night, the season opener with the Dallas Cowboys and the Buccaneers. So obviously, great game.
Dallas
Great game.
Cowboys still counting moral victories.
Hey, James, before you continue, I seem to recall, I'm not going to say no names tonight.
Oh, please
But
do.
you remember?
Call him out.
Call him out. The same guy that said that Roger Staubach was better than Aaron Rodgers said Hurts couldn't throw the football, did he?
Yeah, that's also what he said. But we'll talk about Jalen. We'll talk about what Jalen did. We're gonna talk about that game after this. But
who said that?
Hey,
call them out.
Look, Captain America ain't better than Rodgers though. But Rodgers might be tanking, man.
He's not.
No,
He's not. We gotta talk. We gotta stay on subject. We gotta talk about this game. All right.
He came out and said it afterward. The first thing I heard Aaron Rodgers say, it was one game.
It was, as Aaron Rodgers once said, RELAX. Relax. It'll be fine. Cowboys. Anyway, Cowboys and Buccaneers. It was a high-scoring game. It was very competitive. But when it came down to it, they just left too much time for Tom Brady. And obviously the thing that everyone is going to be talking about is that pass interference or / non-call offensive
Great
pass
no call.
interference.
Great no call.
Or how about the fact that Dak doesn't
on Chris
Dak
Godwin
beat good teams? Tell me the last time Dak beat a good team.
I
don't think Tampa's that – it might be that much of an overreaction, but – when I look at Tampa, I see them being very thin in the secondary. So when you're playing a team like Dallas that has Gallup, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb,
Mike Booth and the
they tore him up.
Messengers said most sacks since 2016 and sent a stat thing as well.
I'll go as far as saying this much as far as the Bucks, because I looked at that replay and I mean, should it have been a call? Should it not have been a call? It could have went either way. The Bucks may have gotten away with one, but before any Cowboys fan raises noise about this, keep in mind when your defense forces 4 turnovers, when Dak throws for over 400 yards, theoretically, you should have blown the Bucs out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'll be honest.
Claiming a moral victory.
And I'll be honest, I've heard it all, like a lot of excuses about things, and I'm not going to take it away from Dallas. That was a bad call that should have been, well, the call should have been thrown, right? That was pass interference.
Yeah.
But if Godwin, but if Godwin, hold on. If Godwin don't drop that, if Godwin don't drop that ball, they score there, and this game isn't as close.
Don't leave the game in the hands of the refs, especially when you're playing against Tom Brady.
Never leave a game in the hands of the refs.
For me, it's not about.
As a Lions fan, I know that better than most.
For me, it's not really about like the fumble or anything. It's about this. Why do the Cowboys never learn their lesson? This seems to happen to them every time they play against Green Bay. What happens? They get a lead and they leave like a minute and something up. And then Aaron Rodgers goes down the field. They win the game. Same thing happened here with Tom Brady. You left too much damn time off the clock or on the clock. So, honestly, I put that on Mike McCarthy and the way he called the game. I don't think the way that
Chandler Jones,
Dak was playing.
Dak doesn't beat.
Dak is a good quarterback. Let me finish my point. Dak is a good quarterback. But the Dallas Cowboys, to win games, they have to have a much more balanced attack on offense. Like Dak Prescott, he's not going to be able to win by throwing 60 times a game. You have to have balance. You have to get Ezekiel Elliott going. You have to get him going. A lot of people think he's washed and he's done. He's not. He just hasn't been able to get going in Mike McCarthy's offense.
They're 1-3. They're 1-3 in the last 4 games when he throws for 400.
Yeah, exactly. So Dallas needs to have a balanced offense, and they're more of a team that's.
You're not.
They need to play with the lead, and then just keep feeding Zeke, and then keeping their defense off the field as much as possible. That's how Dallas can win.
They've become Dak dependent, and that's not a winning formula for them.
No, it isn't. You know how many carries that Zeke had at halftime?
4. What did he
had?
11 with left field about it.
What did he finish with? 9.
11. 33 yards.
Yeah, but Tampa is vulnerable in the secondary compared to their run defense.
True. Right. But at the end of the day, he'll bounce back this week. I don't know. He's gonna hear all the talk.
Let's say against the Chargers, it happens again. Dak throws
then it
the
becomes
ball
an
for
issue.
They're not beating the Chargers either.
50, 60 times. I think they can beat the Chargers, but they have to have a balance.
I think that's one. I think that's one of the better games this week.
Are the Chargers a good team? Can we agree that they're a good team?
I think they play.
You don't think Dallas is a good team?
I'm not saying that Dallas isn't good. I said, are the Chargers a good team?
I don't know because we don't know if the Chargers are going to charger. You remember last season they had a lot of close games and they blew it.
And they blew it, yeah.
The Chargers always find the most inopportune time to start sucking. Either they come out hot and they fall apart, or they start real slow and then they get hot when it's like a week too late.
Don't be surprised if Dallas finishes 10-6 or 10-7 or 11.
I'm just saying, if you think the Chargers are a good team, Dallas won't beat them because Dak does not beat good teams. He doesn't.
Dallas can beat. Okay, we're not like this isn't really.
Where is it? Is it in Dallas? Is it in Dallas?
No, it's in LA.
Oh, they're definitely not winning.
Uh-oh.
It's not like the Chargers is a hostile environment.
I would have
know that
Arlington, but yeah, no.
Dallas had more fans at Tampa than Tampa had, and Tampa's coming off the Super Bowl.
The issue that people have with Dallas, honestly, I think everybody just picks them just because they pick at them. I don't think there's that much issue.
You know the issue I have with Dallas? They're in the division.
Well, I don't like the team.
I'm talking about you guys because you guys are in the division. I get that. I'm talking about
my issue with Dallas is their atrocious defense and Dak Prescott. That's it.
And it's just been the same story for the last 10, 15 something years. In my opinion, the biggest problem with that team is Jerry Jones. Bottom line.
Yeah, 100%.
When Jerry Jones goes away, that team will get better. Period. That's been the biggest issue. Now you're right, Joey. The Cowboys.
No, that's fair. I think that's fair. He's a distraction.
The Cowboys can win 10 games, but they don't do what needs to be done to win 10 games. We sit here talking about what they need to do. We sit here talking. James just said it. Everything they need to have a balanced attack. You can't depend on Dak too much and blah, blah, blah. How many times is Dak going to throw for 400-500 yards and they take an L? Or barely win?
It's like Jahan said, they're 1-3 in the last 4 times that Dak has thrown for 400 yards.
Yeah.
That's not their winning formula. Their winning formula is get a lead, keep their defense off the field,
run the ball,
let Zeke run the ball, and
that's the winning formula in the
completely
NFL
control the clock. Because they have
formula in the NFL since the NFL.
They need to keep their defense is so bad that it's a liability. So you have to keep them off the field as much as you can.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So we all pretty much agree with that. So let's move on. Let's move on and let's talk about Philadelphia Eagles and their 32-6 win at Atlanta, where they were underdogs. Many people in the media have criticized this team, criticized for the whole Carson Wentz situation, and saying that he wasn't really done right when he was in Philly, and Jalen Hurts can't really lead a team. People have said that, he can't run an NFL offense. He can't make NFL throws. There's been a lot of criticism for Jalen Hurts, but he showed on Sunday that he can do all of those things, and he did them very well. He didn't really wow you with anything, but he made all the right decisions. He didn't turn the ball over, and he managed the game to perfection. When he was getting pressured, he was able to get out of the pressure. He wasn't just getting out of the pressure and just taking off and doing that. No, he was escaping the pocket, making good throws down the field, and when there was nothing open, then he ran. But he was always making plays down the field. The chemistry that he has with Devonta Smith, them being former Alabama teammates, that was very clear there with Devonta getting his first NFL touchdown on his first NFL catch. So I have a lot of confidence that Jalen Hurts is going to be able to lead this team, and I think he's going to do really well this year, and he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. So I don't know if you guys had any thoughts on that, but that's pretty much where I'm at.
I got one real fast. I think he did a damn good job. He played a damn near flawless game on Sunday.
Let's not forget about Mike Booth too tonight.
I got a chance to catch about half of that game. But with Jalen Hurts, I know some people say, the Atlanta Falcons defense is kind of ass. That was easy. Well, don't forget, the game that Jalen Hurts won last season, he beat a top 10 defense. So he's got the ability to go out there and compete. You see what I'm saying? I believe it Hurts. I think he's going to take y'all places. You know what I'm saying? They just have to.
Places is right. Third.
I just want to say a few things. Everybody knows I'm a big Wentz guy. That's no secret. There's no.
Is this Jahan or the Crown Royal talking?
No, there's no secret. I'm a huge Wentz guy. Part of the people, that media that felt like Wentz was done wrong, I was probably part of 90% of that. However, Jalen Hurts played a hell of a game Sunday.
I love that y'all ran the RPO.
The youngster showed up and showed out. He's definitely proved himself. Game one. What do you have? Over 250 passing,
264, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
and 62 yards rushing as well.
You know. Listen, the kid played a hell of a game, and he's on Pro Football Focus. He's the second highest rated quarterback this week.
Oh, you just lost all your credibility right there.
No, I'm just saying. It was. He was tied with James Winston, who had 5 touchdowns. I just want to say that out there. He was tied with James Winston, who had 5 touchdowns.
I'm just going to tell you now, Jahan and James, between y'all, just because I've been there. You remember, the way the world works is you're only good as your last game.
Because, right. No, Jalen Hurts had a hell of a game.
No, I'm with you. What I'm saying is it looks great now, but watch what happens when the world sees the one game where you have a fall. Because remember, in 2019, Lamar went 5 touchdowns and went 59-10 against Miami. Great. Right. Looked like he looked great. He looked like he was there. 2 weeks later, he loses to Kansas City, and then all of a sudden, they're back to being he's not there, he's this. So the NFL media, the way they are, especially particular average fan, the average fan goes by one.
I mean, we have a tough matchup this week. We got the 49ers
What does
this
NFL
week.
stand for?
Yeah, and I'm excited to watch that game because that
National
game,
Football League.
that game kind of tells me a little bit more.
I like
But
Jalen
I'm just
Hurts. I
saying
want to
the
see him
average-
succeed. But he's
the
got
average fan.
He's got to prove it to me all year, not just 1 week.
But the thing is, though, he
against
doesn't.
a shitty
Number
defense.
one, he don't have to prove it to no fan. He has to prove it to his coaches. Number one.
You know what I mean.
Number two, the average fan is hypocritical and moves the goalpost to fit their narrative plenty of time. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't worry about proving it to people that move the narrative, because if your original point is he's not good, you're going to do everything you can to fit that narrative no matter what that person
He
does.
played a hell of a game. You got to tip your hat to the young boy, man. Year 2, he comes out week 1 and plays a hell of a game. Listen, I was excited. I was excited for Devonta Smith getting his first touchdown on his first catch. Defense looked like they were gonna get torched first couple drives. They only gave up 6 points. My boy Javon had 2 sacks. Hassan Ridgeway played great. Fletcher played great. Defensive line looks scary. If all of them boys are on the same page for complete 60 minutes, we look scary.
Oh, that front four is nice.
It was impressive to do that with a coach that nobody knows anything about. And you guys did that with a team that with nobody knows anything about Sirianni or what he's about.
I tell you what, Arthur Smith, he looked real lost on the sideline, but this is what, year 1 for Arthur Smith?
Yeah, but it is
year 1 for Sirianni.
But it is a little concerning. It is a little concerning, I will say, for Arthur Smith, though, Johan, because when you're an offensive coordinator in Tennessee, you're an offensive-minded coach, and you're going to go in there and play the Philadelphia Eagles, and you're only going to put up 6 points. Right. So they are going. So I agree with you. He's going to have to get Pitts involved. He's going to have to kind of rebound. Granted, I've been saying on this show when we did predictions and stuff, I think very low of the Falcons. I think they're not a very good football team. But that being said, I thought Philly was very impressive in week 1.
I think that Pitts is better than all 3 of those receivers.
And they did this to me last year with Aaron Rodgers. People would be like, oh, he only beats bad football teams. He only beats this. Listen, you only can control who you play on your schedule.
Thank you.
So
years with Houston.
So yeah, exactly, Jay, and for you too. Like with the Texans and the Jaguars, you play them twice a year, and if people want to give you shit about that, who gives a shit? You won this week. You won. You did what you had to do.
You go out.
Well, here's the thing about Atlanta. Their offense. What I saw from their offense is, it is basically Tennessee's offense. How they use Derrick Henry. They want to use Davis the same way how Tennessee uses Derrick Henry. They want to give him a lot of carries because he's a physical running back. So I saw like a lot of stuff from the Titans offense in that game. But you got to get Ridley and Pitts and these guys involved in the game, period.
Well, to your point, to the point, I agree with Tyler. And this is why I never trip when people say, like Dom says, it's the Falcons or it's this. You don't control your schedule. You play who you play. Because anytime a quarterback somebody doubts, like Jalen Hurts, like Lamar Jackson, like Baker Mayfield, when they bow out against a team, they're like, it's just this, it's just that. You can't control it. So either you deal with it or you don't. At the end of the day, perfect example, if they were to lose that game, then you wouldn't be saying it's just this. Like, how you lose this team? They're sorry. You're supposed to beat them the way you're supposed to beat them. Hence proving how hypocritical an average fan is.
And to Joey's point, I've said this for the last decade. If you really think about it, if you face a losing team, you yourself are in a lose-lose situation. Because if you win that game, it's, oh man, you beat someone.
Yeah, you did what you were supposed to do.
But if you lose to them, oh man, y'all ain't shit. Y'all lost to such and such.
Yeah,
so whenever you face a losing team, you're in a lose-lose situation as is. It's either you're supposed to beat them or you ain't shit.
Right. No, you're right. Good point.
I mean, that's fair. But, I mean, look, I feel like the true test for Philly this week, we got the 49ers, then the Cowboys, then the Chiefs. if we can go 2-1, even 3-0, I mean, all of that's unrealistic. 1-2 is ideal for this young team.
So if we beat San Fran,
based upon what the line
and beat
did,
Dallas,
I think the Niners are not as good as anyone thinks.
If we beat San Fran and beat Dallas, and we're 3-0, and we lose to Kansas City, which I think we probably
It's
will.
reasonable. That's reasonable.
Where do you think? Do you think this team could actually contend in the division?
The team could win the division.
I mean,
I think
anyone
can win
this
this
division.
Eight games will win you that division.
Yeah.
No, it won't. I think.
Yeah, and you say and you are on the record saying the Philadelphia Eagles are only going to win 6 games.
Yeah, I am. But 8 games wins the division.
Not just you, but also Dom.
No, I think
both of you guys have said that we're only going to win 6
I think
games.
you guys I think you guys are using recency bias to think that this is going to be what it is. I think 10 wins is going to win this division.
Oh, 10 will absolutely win it, but you don't need.
But
10.
I have
need
2
10.
I have 2 of the teams finishing over 8 wins.
9, 7, and 1.
9 100% for sure will win it.
Hold up.
8.
Hold
So
up.
does anybody in here think that Philadelphia can win 10 games?
No, I don't. Not 10.
Joseph thinks so, and Jay does.
I mean,
Our schedule, we have winnable games on it.
Yeah, but hey, listen, the Saints look better than I thought, and I had the Saints as one of our wins.
Is it possible in a universe of infinite possibilities? Certainly. Is it probable? No.
I had the Saints down as one of our wins.
I'll go.
Man, my bad. My bad about my record. It's raining here.
We'll play the Saints when we play them.
I think you could beat the Saints. I think the Saints are not nearly as good as anyone thinks either.
Yeah, but James had 5 touchdowns out here, man. Come on. We got to put some respect on that man name this week.
Are we talking about them this week? Are we mentioning the Packers yet?
No,
we haven't got there yet. All right, guys, let's actually talk about that game because I know Tyler doesn't want to talk about it, but we got to get it over with.
I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it.
Let me say this. How surprised were you guys by this? Because I had it the other way around. I thought Green Bay was gonna slap them, but
I did too.
It was just a disaster from the start, and I'm not panicking if I'm Green Bay though. I think that they will figure it out, and they'll win the NFC North when it's all said and done. But it was one of the most roughest games that I've seen from Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers for quite a while.
Still in studio?
Yeah, Mike's in the studio.
We need somebody to stub out for him.
I'm going to step out so he can step on.
Okay,
I appreciate that, Joe.
Good
right,
riddance.
JJ. We'll see you tomorrow for picks, bro.
I'm gonna say this real quick, and then Ti, you can catch it. As far as Jameis Winston goes, and I mean he had a hell of a game. I will say that it helps sitting behind Drew Brees for a year. It really helps sitting behind Drew Brees for a year, even if it's for a year. And it might be an overreaction right now, but the fact of the matter is he's off to a good start to the season because he shredded the Packers, and that is no tall feat. The Pack had a top 10 defense last year. You know?
Well, here's what I'm going to say about Jameis. Do it again.
The whole loaf of toasted bread.
He needs to do it again, bro, because we saw him when he was in Tampa. He had like multiple games where he threw for 5.
Rodgers is tanking.
But he threw like 30 interceptions.
I'm going to let you all speak first because I have a lot to unpack here.
Hang on. Let me finish my point real quick. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. I acknowledge the good that he did, and yes, I agree. He needs to be consistent. But I said at the beginning of this telecast, it's all about starting off good. He started off good. Now, if you think it's fool's gold, cool. It's fool's gold. If you think he's going to do something, cool. He's going to do something. But the fact is, he went out there and won the game. He applied something he learned from Drew Brees. He threw for 5 touchdowns. That you can't take back. All right, you got it.
Go here real quick. I did not see, obviously none of us saw that result, but I didn't see the Packers putting a whooping on the Saints like that. I thought it'd be a closer game. I'm glad that I remembered that the Browns Chiefs game was on, so I flipped over and didn't have to watch any more of that massacre. because it wasn't even holding my attention. Even though I was shocked, it was like a car wreck, but like one that was so bad you kind of want to turn away from. But go ahead.
Go ahead. No, Mike, go ahead.
Oh, Mike, go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, it was a shock to me. I don't know how good the Saints are going to be, but I will, give Jameis his props. He played a really good game. He didn't make those same mistakes that we've seen in Tampa, but he does need to be consistent because we know he can sling the ball around. It's his decision making that was always in question. But looks like, maybe he did learn something from Drew Brees, and, I don't really like Sean Payton, but maybe he helped him out a little bit, so if he turns around and he's consistent and, he's a solid, he's got an arm. I mean, there's no question about it. He's got arm talent. So we'll see how he is with that. And as far as the Packers are concerned, love to see him lose, but I was really, really shocked at the product they put on the field, even with Rodgers not being there for training camp and all the drama. But I mean, I thought it would be really closer, but I had the Packers winning that game, and I'm really shocked they got blown out that way.
Yeah.
Sean Payton, Sports Genius of the Week.
Yeah.
Tyler.
I will.
Tyler.
For one, I'll owe Sean Payton an apology because I made him sports moron last week about him moving the game down to Jacksonville, and maybe he knew something, right? So I'm going to give him a little bit of credit. But this game started with a field goal from New Orleans, and then New Orleans on their next two drives had two 15-play drives. So they were methodical at keeping Aaron Rodgers off the field. We only had the ball 3 times in the first half. So they were time of possessioning the shit out of us in the first half of that football game. We only ran the ball. I think the big thing that really I take away from this is they didn't run the football. Green Bay did not run the football this game. They ran it 15 times total. New Orleans ran it 39 times. Green Bay had 43 yards on the ground as New Orleans had 187 on the ground. So, I mean,
hard to run the ball when you're down 3 scores.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, Winston,
the ball to catch up.
And I will give credit to Winston. Like, Winston was 14 for 20, 148 yards, 5 touchdowns. But a lot of it's set up from them running the football and being methodical, keeping Green Bay off the sidelines. I thought there was a terrible call in this game that shouldn't have gotten called on Zadarius Smith. I don't know what the fuck a roughing the passer call is anymore. God. Did you guys see that? I mean, even speaking to a Lions and a Vikings fan, that was blatantly not pass interference or roughing the passer.
Not even close. It was a hard hit, but
so Jameis got away with the pick on that. We'll say that, but overall, yeah, New Orleans had a great game plan. As far as panicking on Green Bay, I'm not, because this team hasn't played any starters for all 3 of their preseason games. They were resting people up because they know it's a 17-week season. This was a bad game, from Aaron Rodgers. And I think Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he's necessarily choking, Jahan.
Tanking, not choking, tanking.
Okay, well, tanking. We're going to see. I think you're going to see him put a butt whooping on Dom's Lions on Monday night, personally.
Probably.
Aaron Rodgers is forcing his way out of Green Bay.
I think a lot, to your point, Tyler, I think a lot of teams got victimized this week by not playing their starters whatsoever. I
agree. Yeah, I agree with you. That's something that we don't talk about enough, and I think some teams are kind of sleepwalking. Jahan made this point on my thread even in the beginning of the game. He said it seems like Green Bay's sleepwalking into this game, and I agree with him. I think that's exactly how I felt too. But those 2 15-play methodical drives from New Orleans to start this game was brilliant, honestly. They were doing little 4, 5, 6 yard passes and setting it up with little 4 or 5 yard runs. It was methodical. I actually don't think like I said on this show that I thought New Orleans was going to be in the battle for playoffs, and I don't know if they're going to make it this year. That's why I said to Jay, I believe. I think New Orleans might be able to make it. Listen, the way they played defense, playing that. No, listen though, the way they played defense in this game, playing cover 2 shell, making their free safety and strong safety control the back portion of the field, I think really worked. And they won this game in the trenches. Their defensive line and their offensive line. I did not think New Orleans' offensive line was going to be what it was, and I think Jameis might not be getting hit as much this season.
Yeah,
this is what I think. Hold on. This is what I think. I think New Orleans played their best game of the year, week 1. I think that New Orleans is not going to look that good anymore this year.
You think they missed the playoffs? You think they missed the playoffs?
I think they missed the playoffs. I think that Jameis Winston will not look that good again this year. I think that was an anomaly. I think that game was an anomaly. And I think that Green Bay, I've been joking about Rodgers tanking. But, it wouldn't surprise me if he's trying to force his way out of Green Bay because that whole drama, whatever.
Cold take.
However,
Cold take.
New Orleans will not look like that again. I think New Orleans will beat Carolina if they play. I'll give them that because I don't think Carolina's a good team at all. I think
I got the Panthers this week.
There's people overhyping Carolina.
Yeah, I think they're
not overhyping them. They're not a bad team.
Their defense is fucking awful.
No, it's not.
They're product of playing bad teams early, though. They're playing bad teams early.
That was a bad football game anyway. It was 19-14, and both teams look lousy.
Give the Jets 7 more minutes, and the Jets win that game. But that's neither here nor there. Cool.
Shout out Corey Davis.
Yeah, I think Carolina's a bad football team. I think the Saints will beat them twice.
But you don't think the Saints make the playoffs, is what you're saying?
No. I don't think the Saints make the playoffs because I don't think the Saints are good. I think the Saints played their best game week 1.
There's one good team in that
game was their Super Bowl.
The Saints or the
That's
Cardinals.
what it was.
It's definitely not the fucking Falcons.
They treated that game like it was their Super Bowl.
They did.
Yeah.
And you know what? And Jameis, I'm not sold on Jameis at all. Like this is the same guy that will throw 5 touchdowns in the game, but he'll throw 5 interceptions this next game.
Yep.
Like I'm not sold on Jameis and his performance at all. And also, everybody's hyping this performance. But what he had? He had 150 yards passing. He had 150 yards passing.
Yeah, I mentioned it too. It was the running the ball that helped New Orleans, and the fact that Green Bay had 3 turnovers in this game. New Orleans had none. So
they ain't gonna be able to run the ball like that on every team.
No.
Oh yeah, exactly not.
Green Bay just had a terrible game, and you know what? I'm glad that I didn't have them in my eliminator pick this week. I'm glad I didn't have them in my eliminator pick.
I wish we were playing them on Monday.
Put them in this week.
TV.
Yeah. However, Green Bay bounces back. Green Bay's fine. Green Bay's fine. Green Bay's a playoff team. It was a bad game. It was, I'm giving you shit about Rodgers tanking because it is what it is. It's barbershop talk.
It's fair.
Yeah, it's barbershop talk, but I really feel like Green Bay just played a bad game. Like Rodgers had 5 interceptions all of last year. He threw 2 in this game.
Listen, I'm not, and I don't care if I say this and this offends anyone. I'm not like these people that when their team leaves or someone scores on my team, I leave chat rooms or jump off a group or something like this. My team got beat 38-3, and I posted right after the game on my Facebook.
Right.
I'm here.
Say his name.
I mean, if the Eagles lose this week, I ain't posting. If the Eagles lose this week, I ain't posting because I only post when we undefeated.
Hey, and Tyler, no, I'm not overreacting on Rodgers at all because if you remember the first matchup versus Tampa Bay last season when y'all got blown out? What happened by the end of the year? He won MVP. So I'm not. It was a bad.
But he couldn't be.
Just so y'all know.
And listen, Tom Brady lost to the Saints 38-3 last year too.
Exactly.
Guess what? Rodgers won't beat Tom Brady in the playoffs this year, but you know who will? Matt Stafford.
Hell no! Stop it,
bro. Stop.
That's an overreaction right there. Go back to the overreaction post. The Rams are overreaction.
Stafford's going to beat Tom Brady in the semis and then lose to Rodgers in the NFC title game. You heard it here first.
No, he's not.
Stop it.
Man, go to bed. You're
tired. He'll
lose to
Kyler Murray in the wild card game.
Oof.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it, Dom, as long as the
Jeremiah
Packers are going to the Super Bowl. So I'll take it.
Kyler knows.
Tyler, you need someone else.
Kyler
to Tom
knows.
Brady. That man's name is John Matthew Stafford.
Get on the Kyler train while you can. He's going to go off. He's ready.
Okay.
Don't be hating
Speaking
on
of,
old golf.
all the games,
Wait, Jahan, Stafford's new golf?
Yeah, no, he's old man golf. He's old man.
old golf. And golf
he's the whole version of
golf is
Yeah.
new Stafford.
He's old Jared Goff.
Old
They,
golf.
look, they traded away what two firsts?
Two firsts and a third.
Yeah, for old man golf. Sheesh.
Yeah, for what? To take one of them to take a quarterback next year in that draft class?
That is Dr. Stafford.
That draft class is trash.
Sam Howell to the Lions confirmed.
I hope so.
Sam Howell to the
I
Rams.
hope so.
We take a quarterback. I'm officially a Raiders fan.
Wow.
Okay, so let's talk about
Dom's saying all this in his Bengals gear.
before we move on. I want to talk about I want to give Jay a chance to talk about Houston, because just like everybody predicted, Houston Texans are leading the AFC South after Week 1.
Let's go.
Every other team in the AFC South lost.
The sarcasm in James over there.
I know.
Just as everyone predicted.
They ain't playing
Colts
nobody.
lost. The Titans got blown out.
It was
They
a
ain't
losing
playing
and
nobody.
they
They
beat
play the
Texas
worst team in the
earlier.
league.
Hey,
No, but Jake brought up a great point.
Hey, Jay's got to take him this week. This is his victory. This is his victory Monday this
Texans,
week,
who they got
Jahan.
this week?
yeah, because I don't.
They
know
got
what
the
I'm
Cleveland
doing.
Browns.
But look,
Jesus.
Hey, bro, if they
beat Cleveland, I'll come on here and apologize
If they-
today because that's a
if they beat the
terrible
Browns-
Week 2 game.
If they beat the Browns, just go ahead and print the AFC South champ.
If they beat the Browns, I would
Sure.
buy a Deshaun Watson jersey.
Honestly, yeah.
Hey, listen.
Honestly, yeah, James. If they beat the Browns, I'm gonna open my eyes a lot more because the Browns
It's
just
at
lost.
Cleveland. It's at
Browns
Cleveland.
just lost a heartbreaker to the Chiefs, and they got a bad taste in their mouth for a home opener against the Texans.
But how could they possibly expect to win that first game? The Browns don't do that, and the Browns.
So what? Nobody thought the Bengals would win. No one thought the Steelers would win. No one thought a lot of other teams would win.
I really
So,
didn't think the
Any
Steelers were
given
going to
Sunday,
win. I'll
bro.
be honest. I
I
really
don't
didn't think they were going to
Houston
beat the
was
Bills.
picked for any game this year, let alone
The
week
Browns
one.
will have at least one
That was the biggest
unexcusable
surprise
loss
of the
this
week
year.
to me.
Why not Houston?
Yeah, and I will say this. First off, I'm going to address the defense because the defense was definitely flying all over the field. They forced Trevor Lawrence into throwing 3 interceptions. They definitely got to the quarterback, and I like the move getting Lovie Smith, who's one of the better defensive coordinators in football, to the Houston Texans. We definitely needed that. I think he'll be the biggest spark for us since we had Wade Phillips. As far as Tyrod Taylor goes,
Oh, God. Here goes Miracle Whip. Sorry to interrupt, Jay.
Hellman's over Miracle Whip. But anyway.
That's right, Jay.
Cover both.
Dukes for the win. I'm with you, Jahan.
Okay, Dukes.
Take it from a guy who
Okay.
posts a food name every time we on here. But look, Tyrod Taylor, I've
I
always
used a great value brand because I'm cheap.
Hey, save that money, dog. But look, Tyrod Taylor, I've always liked Buddy since he was at Virginia Tech. Dude's mobile, dude's got an arm and
The
everything.
Walmart brand.
I don't expect Tyrod Taylor to be the franchise quarterback. He's a stopgap until
He's
we
like
can get a
Teddy.
quarterback in the future. However, we've seen crazier things in sports. So, but as of right now, I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing out of.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Not to I'm sorry, Jay, but can you imagine if Mills comes in and Mills just fucking shreds it for Houston?
I was going to say, who does Tyrod Taylor lose?
That's the backup. They
Yeah.
drafted that kid
And we
from
got him.
Stanford.
We got him in the
Wait,
third
that's
round.
it. It's him.
So
Mills is the
Deshaun
rookie,
Watson
right?
is guaranteed not going to play this entire season.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Yes.
I would
It's
imagine.
guaranteed he's not going to play. He's not going to play. He's going to sit at
Damn,
home
bro.
and get paid, and apparently the Texans are content with that.
The-
Listen, can you trade Deshaun Watson? Let's say Houston wins. Like, let's say they're sitting at like 4-5 after like 9 weeks somehow. Can they trade Deshaun Watson for players then?
Theoretically, we can trade him right now.
Trade him whenever they want.
It is,
Yeah,
They have a very high asking price for him. It's been reported that they want 3 players and 3 first-round picks.
Tyrod Taylor's going to lose his job
and you know
to Mills.
And maybe the Texans organization has learned their lesson from DeAndre Hopkins, you know, and asking for that. Deshaun Watson is one of the. I mean,
that's true. That's true. They gave
in
Hopkins away for like nothing.
Yeah. You're not gonna trade him for milk and cookies unless you're Bill O'Brien. But anyway,
That's a good point. Yeah,
you know,
that's a good point.
With Deshaun Watson, I think teams are waiting to see what comes out of his legal situation because they don't want to pay the farm and then this dude goes to jail or this dude gets suspended or something like that. You know, right now the NFL is not doing anything about it because, you know, normally he would end up on the bad boy list. They're not doing anything about it right now because right now Watson does not have an intent to play. He's content sitting at home and getting paid. The second he shows his intent to play, whether with Houston or anybody else, then the NFL is going to step in. That's when teams are going to start paying attention.
That's why they're not addressing it.
They're not addressing it because right now Watson don't want to play. Let me ask you a question: if you're unemployed, can I suspend you?
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But once you go to work and you screw up, hold on a second now. That's worthy of suspension. So
wow, great
that's
point.
Where they're at with the reason.
The unemployment boys just got their funds suspended, though. They got to go back to work.
You know what I mean.
I don't think he has that problem, James.
Yeah, you know, but yeah, as right now, they're showing NFL essentially playing it smart. They're like, why suspend the guy right now, put him on the list, and he don't even want to play. The second he wants to play, that's when they're going to step in and watch.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So do y'all think he's still going to get
called Jay the Warden?
Even if he's innocent and gets like excused of all the charges, do you think he's still going to get suspended by the league next year?
Yes, I mean, it happened to Ezekiel Elliott. It happened to other players. That's how the NFL rolls. The NFL rolls on reputation, and that is
how long is Fuller suspended for? 6 weeks, 6 games or something?
You cannot put yourself
Watson going to be out all season.
Yeah,
he's going to get hit with something for sure.
He's going to be out for like half of next season too.
Where does he end up next year?
Oh God, I was thinking about the other day.
Quarterback.
I think Miami still.
Miami's a front runner.
I don't believe that, bro. I think that a lot of people are linking him to Miami, but Tua is going to prove people wrong. Tua has got better in.
Okay, but who are you thinking? Atlanta?
I don't know. I don't exactly know.
He is from Georgia, and
it depends.
And Ryan may be on his last leg, so
definitely.
I'm trying to name teams that need quarterbacks. That's what because someone's got to be a suitor. So like,
let's see. How about
Denver? Obviously, but they're going to go after Rodgers. I think. I really do think that.
Washington is a possibility.
That's possible. Yeah.
The Giants, if DJ don't get his act straight.
Oh.
But
that's true. That's true.
Philadelphia is the team. People have linked Deshaun to Philadelphia. The reason they do that is because we have the most assets. So if Jalen Hurts does not be the guy that we think he is, then the Eagles are going to go for Watson. But we have no reason to believe that that's going to be the case based on what we've seen from Jalen so far.
This week.
Yeah. I don't foresee the Eagles getting Deshaun. I mean, Jalen Hurts, he's got that leadership gene. He's really been stepping it up. He's been performing. He's got a ton of potential.
I don't think so either.
His ceiling is way up there. So I don't foresee the Eagles getting Deshaun Watson. I really think he goes to Miami or Denver.
Or Atlanta.
Miami.
I think Atlanta's in the mix.
Or Atlanta would be a good spot for him. Him and Kyle Pitts,
Would Minnesota be a choice?
I was going to say Minnesota.
If they get rid of Kirk.
I was going to say that, but I was like, I don't know.
And get him to take Kirk.
It depends how much they like Mond, and they just haven't seen enough from Mond yet.
Well, if you ask Phil Simms, Kellen Mond is better than Justin Fields.
Not Phil Simms, his son, Chris Simms.
Oh, Chris Simms, my bad.
Oh,
Chris Simms.
According to Chris Simms,
I don't even worry about Chris
Jalen Hurts was not ranked in the list of top 40 quarterbacks.
That was
right. But here's my thing. It's like I did like our pick with Mond because it's a developmental project, and we always have like a Sean Mannion on our team. Something like that.
Right. You guys are tired of Cousins.
I want the Lions to take Kellen Mond.
Yeah, honestly, the Cousins and Zimmer marriage is kind of coming to
Yeah.
a boiling point.
Bring back Joe Webb.
You got to get one
Joe
of
Webb was nice for a
Really?
little bit.
Wow, stop that.
He's a wide receiver.
What, for real? Joe Webb actually had some very impressive games, though. He was on a bad football team at the time.
He was
played hero.
athletic, but he was just like he would have been better like wide receiver. We tried him in the playoffs because a Ponder got hurt, and that was just a disaster.
Yeah, I remember that.
That
Webb
was a mess. Oh my god.
Webb
We
was
did
on-
that with one of the McCowns once many years
Yeah,
ago.
but I mean,
Then you guys have Tavares Jackson for a while,
I
too.
think if we have the assets, yeah, and Watson doesn't have the legal trouble, it gets all cleared and all that, and
I wish someone else would comment. So
I would obviously
Jack talk.
pick him over Kirk or Mon. Because, I mean, Mon can still learn behind Watson. I don't care.
Okay,
You
there
know?
we go.
Yeah, you
He's
can.
I
not
was
even
just
ready
about
for
to
like
ask
3
Mike
years anyway.
to get his wife to comment so he could quit looking at that Jalen Hurts better season than Kyler Murray comment. Because it was really starting to upset me.
Yeah, we don't
That's
know.
the guy who said he wanted Jalen Hurts on his team, but it's neither here nor there.
It's also the guy that said he liked Miracle Web.
No,
Yeah,
you said you wanted Jalen Hurts on the Detroit Lions. Did you not?
I did. With
Oh.
Lincoln Riley.
the Lions are going to have to do something at quarterback eventually when that Goff contract's up, and I would
Take
keep.
Jalen
we're
over
I would
Goff
keep Jared Goff
right now.
next year. I would keep Jared Goff next year, though, with that class coming up.
We have to. We're stuck
Yeah,
with him for the
yeah,
rest
that's
of this
right.
year, next year, no matter what.
If the Lions have a top pick, they're going to take a quarterback though.
They
Sure.
better
promise
fucking
And they're
not.
going to fuck up.
They better
again.
They
fucking
always
not,
do.
because none of those quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, they got Stafford, but then they don't do nothing else.
Yeah, the best quarterback that looks somewhat good to take
We are
isn't going to
building
be
that-
in the
we are
class.
building that
Isn't going to be in the draft, and that's the young kid from Alabama.
I'd
Like,
rather have the dude from Cincinnati. None of those quarterbacks.
I'd rather have
we
Bryce
were taking
Young,
in
bro.
the top 5.
Oh, but
Where
you
we're
would
gonna-
rather have Ritter or whatever over Bryce Young?
Ritter,
Yeah.
Rattler.
What is
Rattler?
No, Rattler is Oklahoma.
not
You said Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Oh, Ritter.
Oh yeah,
All right, I don't know who the
Ritter.
hell that
I
is,
remember
sorry.
him.
Desmond Ritter, I think is his name.
Yeah, the Bearcat.
Yeah, I'd rather have him because he'll go in because we could trade. None of the quarterbacks are worth taking in the top 5, which is where we're going to be.
None of them are worth taking it. Period. Is what I'm saying.
I agree
Yeah.
with you.
Sam Howell is worth taking
I-
in the top 5.
I would rather wait a year.
I forgot Jahan a Tar Heel. Jahan got to stick up for Sam
Oh
Howell.
my God! Thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Sam
Jahan
Howell
got to
Howell
stick
is
up for
another
Sam
Mitch
Howell.
Trubisky, bro.
Sam Howell shit the bed week 1.
Hey
Hopefully
man,
that's- wait,
listen, man, his team shit the bed. Come on, dog. Like, come on, dog.
Sam Howell had a terrible game though.
Yeah, but look, 2 of them interceptions.
I already saw
2
that
of them
movie.
interceptions wasn't on him.
I already saw the original version of that movie. It was named Mitchell Trubisky.
Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Mitch been to the playoffs. Had a
I was
Lions.
going to say how
Mitch been to the playoffs. Had a Lions.
Hey, bro, Mitch was a part of the double doink game. Don't be talking about him like
Two
that.
of the
like
last
he did
3 years,
something.
Mitch Trubisky made the playoffs.
I'm just saying, Mitch been to the
Nagy's on the
playoffs.
hot seat. 2
I
out
have
of
no
3
idea
in the
what
playoffs with Mitch Trubisky, and he's on the
Mitch
hot
gonna
seat.
And they
come in.
lost to
Mitch gonna come in for Josh Allen
Nicholas
soon.
Foles.
Yeah, well,
Double
I was gonna
doink.
just to keep talking about week 1 and keeping it going. The biggest surprise to me this week, and I am gonna eat my words on it, is I really didn't see Pittsburgh beating Buffalo in Buffalo.
Neither.
I don't think
Me
anyone
neither.
did.
I don't think
I don't
anyone
think
saw
I
anyone
don't
that.
think anyone did.
Steelers
And I was
fans
I
didn't see that
I was
happen.
surprised their defense is still looked as good as it has last
Their
year.
front four is legit.
Yeah. Like their defense
Definitely.
and I think Buffalo, obviously looked a little bit worse, but that's a credit to Pittsburgh's defense that it looks like the steel curtain there. And
That looked like Minnesota Stephon Diggs with the 9 catches for less than 80 yards. I was
Okay.
never overly.
Jeez, okay.
All right, guys, let's
Tell
actually
me I'm
talk
wrong.
about some of the games for next week. Since we've been kind of talking about week 1 for a while. All right, so out of all the games that's going on this week, Baltimore and Kansas City, that's the game I want to see probably the most. I think that is That's going to
Sunday
be a
night
Sunday
football.
night game. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be in prime time.
Sweet.
That's a good one.
San Fran and my Eagles playing. That's going to be good too. Minnesota lost to Cincinnati this past week, so they got a tough test on the road at Arizona. So,
Yeah,
Mike,
That's a tough
how do you
one.
see this game going? Because you guys cannot come out and
Minnesota
play
0-2.
like you did against this team. Not at all.
I mean, if we play anywhere near the way we played last week one, it's going to be a blowout. I mean, Chandler Jones is going to beat Rashad Hill like a drum. Let's just put it that way. Like, I mean, talk about a turnstile like all day long. I mean, that one's going to be rough. So we're going to have to try to overcome that right off the bat. But I really think we'll come on and play cleaner. I think we can, play good defense against those guys. I think we can win it. But if we shoot ourselves in the foot, even a fraction of the way we did against the Bengals, it's over. Because Kyler is a pretty good quarterback.
It's all good, Mike. I got a big comfy couch in the basement. We'll be waiting for you. The Bears will be there too.
I mean, if we were playing like we did last week, I'd probably be sitting on that couch with you.
Dom and me got a beer chug on Monday night, by the way. 3 beer chug.
As well.
Whoever loses. So.
I'm just wanted a reason to drink.
Yeah.
But
who knows, man?
Lions
Maybe
already give them a.
Yeah,
I'm not excited. I mean, our next our first 4 weeks is rough. I mean, we got
a pretty
Cardinals
tough
next.
start to your schedule,
We got the Seahawks after that. Then we got the Browns. I mean,
our schedules. Mike,
at risk of going 0-4.
Mike, look at strength of schedules, though. If you type in Google right now for NFL strength of schedules, the NFC North has to play a lot of good teams this year.
Yeah,
because we all got lucky last year, kind of. Yeah. You know what I mean? We got a lot more favorable matchups last year. The game I'm excited for, honestly, and I don't necessarily care so much who wins, but I do think it's the Dallas Cowboys and the Chargers game. That game is a little bit. I think it'll be close. Because that's what the Chargers do. The Chargers play close football games. So I think that game is going to come down to the end. Damn, Jahan, I get it. You are an Eagle. Wins? I'm with you, okay?
Who wins, Dallas or Chargers?
The Chargers.
You know what? Dallas wins.
It's possible. Wow. It's possible because we are talking about the Chargers who Charger.
I think it's gonna be a fun game. So I agree, it's gonna be really close.
I think it's going to overtime, Mike. I think that's the kind of game it could be.
Dallas has to play us after they play the Chargers. They don't want to go into
good teams. Period.
They don't want to go into that game 0-2.
No,
Dallas is more trash than Zach Morris.
Dallas on their defense, they have one corner, right? The Diggs guy, is it? Their
He's
corner.
Stephon Diggs' brother.
He is going to be good. So Keenan Allen could be limited in that game for the Chargers. But the problem is that I feel like guys like Mike Williams could be eaten.
Their other corner sucks. Anthony Brown.
Yeah.
He's
terrible. So I think, and Anthony Brown's going to get eaten a lot by Mike Williams.
Here's my thing on that matchup with Diggs and Allen.
Oh, shit. I forgot his name was Anthony Brown.
Yeah. And he's trash. That's what's so funny.
It doesn't surprise me that Anthony Brown.
Our Anthony Brown could probably cover better than him, though.
Yeah, Anthony Brown, we know, be the best player on that defense.
Anthony Brown's
no, Diggs is good. Diggs is good on their defense.
No, I think Diggs is pretty good, but I think he does better against like physical wide receivers like Mike Evans. He did really well on, but I think he might struggle against Allen because his route running, different level than Evans. So he might.
Hey, Mike Booth, I just want to say I know your pain, bro. We went to overtime with the Bengals last year.
I got one point to that, Mike. I think you could be right that Allen's route running could beat him, but you got to remember that this Diggs guy is guarding, Cooper in practice, who's a pretty good route runner too.
Absolutely, he's right there up there with Allen. They're like probably top 3 running route.
But that being said, TJ Polk gave me a lot of shit about Aaron Rodgers this week. So sorry, Megan.
Even though he fucking started Aaron Rodgers in fantasy.
Go Chargers. I don't know. I got the Cowboys winning that one.
Yeah.
Cowboys win.
Okay, you
Cowboys
guys want to know what game I'm also looking forward to? Tennessee Titans versus Seattle Seahawks. Titans got their asses whooped this week by the Cardinals. They're going into
playing
Seattle.
the Seahawks at the wrong time. This is what Russell Wilson does.
Seattle's
at the beginning of the season.
Seattle's home opener. It's going to be a loud stadium.
Well, I'm picking the Seahawks. I'm picking the Seahawks.
The Tennessee Titans need to win this game, bro. They need to win this game. I'm picking them to win this game. They're going to bounce back. Anthony Brown, Julio Jones.
Anthony Brown.
Anthony Brown. AJ Brown.
I know.
AJ Brown. AJ and Julio going to get it together. And they're going to go up there and they're going to knock off Seattle.
I think AJ.
No way.
That's your upset of the week.
Could, but I think Seattle needs to much, even though they won last week, because the NFC West is so much tougher. You can't.
This is when Russell Wilson plays good, honestly.
And Wilson is at his best at the beginning of the season, as we've seen.
Yes, it's statistically proven. He plays so good in the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
it's like the first
I'm going with Tennessee upset.
Like the MVP
Okay.
Tennessee upset too.
for Tennessee.
Seahawks.
Do I have an upset this week? Let me see if I have an upset this week.
Lions.
I also got Carolina winning.
No, not the fucking Motown Kitty Cats. They are not winning Monday night in Lambeau. No.
I also got.
Hey, we can beat y'all early in the year when it doesn't
Eagles
matter.
beat the Niners. Upset special.
Oh yeah, and I got us beating the Niners, which is also upset. I also got Jacksonville winning.
Who's Jacksonville playing?
Denver. They got Denver.
They could win that. They could win that.
Yeah, baby.
They could.
Oh,
No.
and I got Atlanta.
No, you
Tampa Bay
don't.
Buccaneers.
Atlanta over who?
You don't. You don't.
I do.
No,
Over
you don't.
Tampa?
Over Tampa.
You seriously don't believe that?
Yep.
Hey, man.
I believe it. I do. I think that
More than
You drank
one
I think
too many
what I saw
on
in week
camera.
one. What I saw in week one is this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is a liability. So I think
Atlanta's
and this
Atlanta
is a
who
division
scored,
game.
Atlanta, who scored 6 points this week, is going to be able to just torch.
Well,
Tampa.
the Eagles have a
better
good defense.
defense.
People are not giving our defense credit.
I
We
don't
have a good
have-
defense.
There's got to be.
Yeah, obviously you guys have a good defense. They're better in Tampa, is what you're telling me.
probably have less faith
It's
in
different
the
because
Falcons
it's a
defense
divisional
than the
game.
Cowboys.
Divisional teams know each other more than regular teams do.
Man, Tampa gonna beat them by 30.
They might, but if they don't
for
say
Atlanta
anything.
though.
It could be Atlanta.
I'm going
for Atlanta,
with
but I don't know. I don't know if they can beat the Bucks, but I'll pull them for Atlanta though.
I mean, I'll eat my words if they do. I don't
Who's
think so. I
Minnesota
think
got this
Tampa
week,
will.
Mike? Who's Minnesota got this week?
They got the Cardinals.
Arizona.
Arizona, bro. We're just talking about
Cardinals not winning. Who does Houston play?
That's gonna be my upset.
The
Cleveland.
Browns.
Broncos.
Cardinals.
The Browns.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Home
Not
opener
winning.
for the Browns.
Well, maybe. That might be the upset.
I got
What?
Cleveland winning, but I'm gonna be pulling for the Texans, bro.
Yeah,
I think that.
That's my
Do
upset.
the Dolphins have a shot against the Bills this week, or do the
I'm
Bills?
picking
lose?
Miami
they
too.
definitely
Miami
got
at
shot.
home.
I think that might be the game. I think that might be the game that could be the upset,
Miami at
just
home.
because it's a division game and it's in Miami. Yes.
Yeah.
You will finally get a throw for 200 yards in the game.
I don't know if the Bills can afford to lose that. I don't know.
That's true. It's true. It's gonna be. The Bills are gonna be motivated.
In the Bears.
You do not want to start out 0-2, especially.
I do got the Bengals beating the
Oh,
Bears.
the Browns have
because
started
Dalton
0-2
Is that an
almost
upset
every
though?
year.
Is that an upset? The Bengals beating the Bears. Those teams
Not
are pretty
really.
even.
Is
The
that
Bears-
even,
the
is
Bears
that
are
even an
better.
official NFL game?
The Bears are at home.
The Bears are better.
Wow.
They're gonna lose,
Better
though.
implies good. The Bears
I mean, it's a
might be less
3-point.
terrible.
The Bears are a 3-point favorite, I guess.
That's definitely an
One's
upset.
1-0, one's 0-1, though. I mean,
Oh, no.
and
the
one has
Bengals are
Andy
winning
Dalton
that-
playing
The
that
Bengals are winning that
quarterback.
game. Like
This
I
is going to be the game Justin Fields gets thrown in there.
You know what?
Well,
You
he's-
know
I'll
something?
be waiting for you on that comfy couch.
Like he
Either
did
this
get
week
thrown
or
in there
next
this
week, it's
week.
going to happen.
But
have
he
beers
did this week.
with
You
the
mean
game, dude.
playing consecutive downs is what you mean?
We have
I'm saying
we have
Andy's going
beers,
to get
we have
benched either this
marijuana,
game or next week.
We have tissues.
It's going to
I
happen.
think if they lose this game, that Fields will be playing week 3. starting.
If they lose,
Like, yeah, that's what I mean.
That's what I'm saying.
If the Bears lose, especially if it's ugly.
I think
I
to
can agree
me,
with that. I can agree with
to
that.
me, that game is more of a that's one of the most toss-up games of the week, though. I don't think it's like one's a heavy favorite. I think those teams are pretty similar.
Bengals got this. They're gonna win.
I got the Bengals.
I'm gonna pick the Bengals just because I don't like the Bears, so I'll pick the Bengals.
It's one thing to look shitty against the Rams.
Oh, and I got Washington beating the Giants.
Yeah,
I got
me too.
Washington.
Oh
Giants,
no way the Bears lose that game.
Yeah,
Bears got it.
Yeah,
I mean, the Bengals got it.
That's
It's already
the
sealed.
water pistol revenge tour.
Man.
And
BB
he's gonna
gun.
lose.
The Red Rider
He's
BB
gonna
gun.
lose.
because they're letting him start.
Listen, I don't think the Giants have any shot Thursday night because that Giants team is ass. That team is bad. That team is
Worst
gonna
team
win.
in the division.
That one of the worst teams in football. Let's just be real. That Giants team is gonna be in the picks, like top 5 picks in the draft.
They are.
They're about to win 4 games max.
3.
Yeah.
They'll win more than 3. Stop this.
I got him. I got him.
I said 4. I said 4 and
Everyone in
13.
the division at least once. You're telling me they're not going to beat anyone else?
I say 4 and
Nope.
13.
The Eagles will sweep. The Cowboys will sweep. Washington sweep.
Yeah.
Listen, did the Giants?
Everybody's sweeping up.
Jay,
Now you're just being a contrarian to be a contrarian.
I mean,
No,
I think
not.
the Jaguars.
The Giants-
I think
the
the
Giants are
Jaguars are going to be
terrible.
out this year too. But
They're awful.
No
did the
one in
Texans
that
play the
division
Giants
is-
this year?
No one
Yes,
in that
they
division
are,
is
bro. You just
considerably-
don't think we are. Just
No
because
one
you
in that
think that
division
we
is
suck.
considerably better
we
than
play
anyone
we
else.
play the NFC East next year.
That's why
The
they
Cowboys
don't
are
have
good
8 wins
and we're
to win the
good.
division.
And Washington is okay.
No one in that division is that much better than anyone else.
Based off what? Did
7
you
wins,
watch? Did you watch any of the games?
7 wins, won the division last
I'm
year.
not giving up on Taylor
Last
Heineke yet.
season.
I ain't giving up on Heineke
but
yet.
last season.
Yeah. Why are you talking about last year?
You bring it up last year as if it has anything to do
Because-
right now, which it doesn't.
It has everything to do with because
No, it
that's-
doesn't.
That's
It's
We're
a
talking
new
about last
team.
evidence
It's a new
for
team,
this
Dom.
one
It's not the
game.
same team.
If we're talking about last year, y'all are
It's
the
not
worst
the same
division
team.
currently. Y'all are the worst division currently. We were the worst division last year. NFC North is this
Yeah,
year. What's up?
y'all are the new NFC least.
I told you before.
I guess
I'll
if
tell
we're
you again, we
if
will
we're
never
calling
be the-
if we're calling the Packers the Washington football team of last year, I guess you guys could say that.
I mean, I'm
I'm
just
not
saying.
taking that disrespect. I still
I'm
think the
just
Packers are
saying.
better than all those teams in the East.
Right now,
I
y'all
think
are the
you
worst.
put the Lions in here, they would be
Which
just
division
as
winner
bad
out
as
of those
the
two is
Giants.
going to have more wins?
Listen,
think
Yeah,
anyone
but
in
that's
the
saying the
East is gonna have
Packers
more
are just
wins
as
than the
bad as the
Packers?
football team
Fuck
last
outta
year.
here.
the Eagles would be first place in both of the divisions. What's up?
Listen.
week
We'll
one.
see. We'll see if the
John's
Packers
whole
win the
life-
division
John's
at
whole life
8-9
is
this
a
year.
week 1 overreaction.
No, I don't think we'll end up as bad as the NFCs last year.
Least.
Personally,
Eagles first place in both divisions. I don't care what y'all talking about.
Jahan's whole life is a week 1 overreaction.
Yeah.
We gotta
Oh,
stay
yeah, no,
tuned, Jahan. We gotta stay
Listen.
tuned.
Listen, y'all.
Let's see if
listen.
the Packers go 8-9 and win the division this year. We gotta stay
What?
tuned.
Somebody's
Mark your words.
Even if they
Hey,
do,
that's still a division win.
the division winner,
somebody's team. Somebody's team lost by 35, and somebody's team won by like
Okay.
28.
Hey, tell me what the bet is. You want to bet that the Packers and the Eagles, you guys are gonna have a better record than us? Okay, let's bet.
I want in on that
Run
as
it.
well.
Listen, and you
You guys got an
Detroit-
easier schedule too.
You
Run
can't
it.
get in on any bets because you don't even know how to bet right.
Detroit Dominic. Listen, y'all fucking suck, bro.
If the Lions were in the NFC East, they would be just as bad as the Giants.
Oh,
They
easily.
will be last place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
easily.
I mean, we'll be last place in our division.
yeah.
Look, Daniel
all.
Jones.
Yeah, but
Jared
you're always
Goff,
talking about the
same
NFC
guy.
East. The NFC East is the only division where every team got a ring. How many rings does
Woo!
Detroit have?
Woo! Mic drop.
Minnesota doesn't have any either, by the way.
Hey, don't
Exactly.
But we get 2 teams
Philly
in
got
the
a ring.
playoffs.
Washington got
We
rings.
got 2
Dallas
teams
got
in the
rings.
playoffs last year.
So we
We're
are
getting
talking
prepared.
about the past now. I thought we weren't allowed to talk about the past.
How many Super Bowls did that get you? Matt LaFleur.
I mean, I'm just bringing it up because you're always talking about the NFC East. But you act like the Lions
But I
are
have said
contributing
overall,
I
to
have
the
Super
NFC
Bowl.
North
What are you
being
talking
good,
about,
which you're
Johan?
not.
in the last 10 years,
I got four of them things.
How many
in the
playoff
last,
games has Detroit
Talking
even
about Matt
won in
LaFleur
that
kicking
time?
a field goal.
in the
Matt
last
in the
10
past
years,
10 years.
every division has been the worst at one time or another. It's cyclical.
That's
I
how many
hate Matt
playoff
LaFleur.
games y'all have
I hate
won
Matt
in the
LaFleur.
past
I
10
hate
years.
You're crazy. He's
We've
better than
also won
McCarthy.
0 in the past 20. We've won
He's
one.
better than McCarthy.
We've been to 5 NFC championships. We've been to
NFC
6
30th
NFC championships.
30th.
Oh, we
Counting
count
30.
NFC.
Super Bowls.
We count NFC championships now. Okay,
no,
hold on. There's a lot
last
that
time-
we've been to.
The last
Dom,
time we won a playoff game,
Dom, I just want you to know,
three
nobody,
of you, I think, weren't alive.
The
Nobody-
Lions are
Jay was.
trash.
nobody
They're
has
trash.
ever texted
And
Detroit
they're
won a
always gonna
playoff
be
game.
trash.
I know we're trash. We're not debating the
John's
Lions.
just throwing these little stingers in here down here in the
Nobody has
corner.
ever texted Detroit won a playoff game.
Say what?
Nobody has ever texted Detroit won a playoff game.
Facts. Two
You know
or
what?
three of
Hold
you
on.
weren't alive.
You know what? Hang on. One time I saw a meme that said that every season, this is back when the XFL was going on. So every season, the worst NFL team should play the XFL champion, and the winner, if the XFL would move up, the team
Yes!
would move up to the
Detroit would have been
Yes!
out of the league by
and
now.
the worst
Yes!
team would demote. Hang on. The best response I saw to this was from a Lions fan. He said, as a Lions fan, an XFL championship would be the best chance of a championship coming to Detroit. Make it happen.
How long have I been calling for relegation across all sports?
The closest they had were the Detroit Tigers when they had Justin Verlander. That was about the closest they've gotten in a while since Ben Wallace and Rip Hamilton with the mask
we lost
were
2 World Series
balling.
on the same formula. We either swept or
Detroit,
gentlemen swept
Mountain
from the CS
Lions.
and then sat for a week. You
The
can't
only-
do that.
The
in the playoffs.
Motown Kitty Cats is
The
what it
only
is.
team that's been dominant in Detroit is the Red Wings.
And that was a long time ago,
A
too.
long time ago,
That's
too.
true.
Yeah.
That's
It's been
true.
50
The Red Wings
years.
were
It's
good
been
for a
50
while, though.
years.
They
It's been
were.
50 years.
I was at the
Hey,
last
20 year
Red
streak or
Wings
something in the
parade.
playoffs, something like
It
that.
was in like 2006, I think. We won our last one.
No.
Are we
Yeah,
talking about
and that-
hockey?
Okay, do y'all have any sports?
We went off course a little bit. Whatever.
I vote Tyler Ingram sports more on the week
We can't do that.
What is it? Why? Go on.
because he chose to wear his Green Bay stuff after they got beat by 35 points.
I'm here, bro.
That's called a real fan.
I'm here.
Duh, man. I was just messing with him.
I nominate Dom because he said that the Falcons were going to beat us, and then when we beat them, he tried to
Yeah, I
downplay it.
nominate Dom. I nominate Dom because he's Dom.
Oh, which one is it? First, you say we're going to lose to the Falcons because we suck, and the Falcons are better than us,
I
and then
never
we
said
beat
the
the
Falcons
Falcons,
were
and
better.
the Falcons
You
ain't
both
that
suck.
good.
Until further notice, you both suck.
I vote
I
Mike.
don't know. My
we-
feelings are a little
we-
bit
we
hurt
kicked
because
their
people
ass.
just compared the Green Bay Packers to the Washington football team of last year. And
Yeah, I would be offended.
so people are telling me that my team's going to win 8 games to win the division this year. So
That
my
ain't what we
feelings are a
said.
little
We
bit
said-
hurt.
And
We
if you
said
do,
win a game.
the NFC East leader will win.
Off of
7.
week 1. Off of week fucking 1.
I mean, none of
That's
y'all
what
look
we're
good
talking
in
about.
week one.
I mean, y'all lost by 35. bro.
Y'all need to give me something.
Guess what? We're still all in first.
Oh, God.
Actually,
My
actually,
team is
No, you're not.
actually, we're in
This
first.
part is
So
why
let's get that
Dom.
right.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Wait a
tell
minute.
him, Mike. Tell Dom up there.
The
We
Vikings
have-
are in first
listen,
because they only
check
lost
it
by
out.
3, and the rest of y'all got your ass whooped.
We have
Yeah.
we have 6 panel
Mike.
members here.
Hold on, time out, Mike. You
Because
better.
Joe
you better
jumped
go
off.
summon-
We-
you better
there
go
are 6
summon
of
that
us.
genie.
All
The
six
Vikings
of us
lost
are
better
in
than
the
y'all.
in the
playoffs.
background. You better go summon
Yeah.
that genie with the magic card
We
in the
lost to the
background.
best
Mike
team
is
of all the
terrible.
teams.
Every one of our teams is in first place. It's great. I feel great.
Oh, I mean, the Vikings did look terrible. We're first place.
Detroit
so I'm gonna
sucks,
take
bro.
it.
They're gonna win like 2 games.
First place.
Yeah.
Sorry, ass
3.
team.
They're gonna win 3 games.
Who want to hit
Right?
Pass
Or-
the
Listen, if the
Bro,
Packers
let me
make
hit that.
if the Packers make the playoffs this year, I've already been told that they're only going to win 8 games to make it. So if they win
7.
more than 8 games, I already got receipts. So all right,
7-9-1. 7-9-1.
The Green Bay football team.
all they got to do is win 9 games, and we already got the receipts.
The Green
Yeah, I
Bay
don't
football
see that. I don't see our division being won with 9 games. Sorry. I just
Yeah,
don't
but
It's
know.
not going to be one with 9 games.
I
Just a
don't see your division doing anything this year.
Like I
John's
said,
just
Jahan
talking
pulled
all
out
kinds of
week one
stuff.
overreaction.
Jahan, you about to jinx
Jahan,
us a little, bro, 'cause
Jahan,
you've been talking shit about us the whole offseason, and now you bet.
Jahan forgets doing that shot bet when the Packers beat the Eagles last year to me. He put on the rap music real late.
Bro, why would you bet? Why would you bet on last year's team? Last year's team
Oh,
sucked.
you guys want to see a sweet ass shot bet loss from Jahan? I got it.
No, Jahan has never beaten me.
Don't
in a
say
shot
the White
bet
Claw
yet.
Chug. The White Claw Chug.
Just put it,
He's
just
gonna
put
make
it
the
out
White
there,
Claw
huh,
Chug.
Jahan? Tell him.
Jahan's like, he's burping.
Tell
he's
him
like,
how many. Tell him how many
White
you
Claw
beat
Chug.
me,
He was
Jahan.
burping. He's like, oh, this is gross. I love White Claw. I could not. I give you.
Oh
all
yeah,
the
I saw
credit.
that one. I
give you
saw
all
that
the
one. You
credit in
sent
the
it to us,
world
Dom.
for even doing
Bet-
that, Jahan.
bet-
Even though you wouldn't post it.
That
White
was
Claw
the beer
trash.
of the show.
Respect for pounding 3 White Claws. I'd never do it.
White Claw's trash.
Hey,
Yeah, that's
listen.
disgusting, bro.
I don't
can't
got
believe you did
sport.
such
I don't
thing.
got a sports moron, but shout out to Jahan Phillips making his debut tonight.
Golf clap.
Making his debut tonight. Might have told me that my team's gonna win the division with.
I never
8
thought I'd see
wins,
the day.
but
Honestly,
Me neither.
I never thought I'd see the day either.
Jahan
Dallas
pours
Goddard,
those
Dallas
other
Goddard,
six
shout out
airplane
Dallas
bottles
Goddard.
into that cup.
hey, that's a nice jersey.
Jersey.
yeah, that's dope.
88.
That's dope. Dallas Goddard.
Oh.
Yeah, he scored on Sunday.
Yeah, he's nice. He's a good
Pretty
player.
much everyone did on that sorry ass Atlanta
Dallas
defense,
Goddard.
eh?
You told me you're getting a black Miles Sanders one next.
Yeah, that's next.
I'm
Definitely.
waiting on the Randall Cunningham alternates to officially come back so I can get a Darius Slay.
I think I'm gonna get a 50s classic, honestly, this year at some point.
You got to get that Acme Packers one, even though it's ugly. as
Oh
shit.
God, the blue one. I
Oh,
never.
Did you want
bought
one
it.
of these?
She said.
Oh, he's got one. He's got a black
I
Sanders too.
need that.
Black ones are kind of
26
boring
is
to me.
such a nice number, isn't it, Jahan? 26.
It is. 26
That's
is the
a-
best number.
That's a nice number, 26. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
It's
that.
the best number.
We have Darnell Savage rocks number 26 on the Packers, and he's a dog.
Why
so.
did he not go to number 21? 21 Savage. That would have been sick.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
I got a black
21
Lynch.
Savage. By the way, 21 Savage is so fucking popular down here in Florida. Like everyone fucks with
I
him.
got a black McNabb and a black Lynch.
Well,
He's
shit.
what?
Said a black McNabb and a black one.
I need to give somebody my
It's like
black
people.
lens.
It's like people at Kodak Black down here, Jay.
He's horrible.
I'm just
Thank
being
you.
honest.
Thank
People
you.
love mumble rap down here. I'm not saying I like it.
Probably the only.
To each his
Well,
own.
no. I guess I probably respect everyone's hip hop opinion.
It's
except
it's
John.
like if you go to Chicago, people love
Hey!
Chief Keef, you know?
These bitches
know.
love Sosa.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got-
no,
I got-
and
hold on.
with
I-
the-
hold
oh
on.
boy,
I
you gonna
got-
get over. Raw.
Did you see Did
All
you
right,
see
with
that?
that, I think that's a good time to start the non-football related topics. for
Yeah.
the
Wait,
last
hold
5
on. I
minutes.
think Jay
I got
has
one.
more-
I got
Hold on,
one to
hold on,
start
hang on,
this.
Hang on, before you go. Tyler, non-football related topic. I have Jordan Pennington as a lyricist before Kodak Black.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. I got to respond to that. You don't think I like them, do you, Jay?
No, I'm just responding
Okay,
to.
I'm speaking.
they-
I'm speaking for
No.
the youth out here. I don't
No.
like
I know
mumble
about
rap.
the youth
He
out
said the
there, and
youth.
they don't know nothing, man.
I don't like mumble rap. I was about to bring.
I know how you get down on rap.
I just want to say, Jordan. Hold on, Jordan. How the fuck are you bragging about a auto drafted fantasy team, bro?
This team's not even that good, bro.
That's a pretty good auto drafted team.
Listen,
Yeah,
but how are you bragging about an auto drafted team?
He
You
has
suck
like
in
3
crap.
fucking running backs.
That's
listen,
true.
listen, Jordan. There's 2 things that's funny about this week. For one, Jordan was hazing me, and everyone kept hazing me and going, "Man, Cliff's gonna whip your ass." And then here I come storming back for the dub this week.
Yeah.
And 2, because
I thought
2,
Cliff was gonna clap you, bro.
and 2. No, I got
the first game.
Yeah, I caught up, but
The only reason I lost is 'cause I
Waller
took
balled
my
out.
lineup, by the way.
But 2, he picked up Bell And he was like, "Oh, Bell's gonna be a dog." Wow, I just sneaked in here on the waiver wire and grabbed that Williams cat, and that Williams cat outperformed him and looks like to be the guy getting the more touches going forward.
Le'Veon Bell was
Damn, that was a good move.
No, it's Latavius Murray.
No, he literally has 3 fucking running backs on his whole team, and none of them are that good.
And that's his first fantasy team.
He
ever.
drafted James Conner, and he was like, "Oh, James Conner's going to be good."
Draft
I mean, I love
ever.
Jordan. That's my guy. But I thought it was funny when he made a post, and all these people are like, "Oh, that's good. That's good." And I'm like, "Wait, these motherfuckers don't know that Jordan was sleeping through this whole thing. That's how he missed his auto draft. He was sleeping."
Yeah.
First
Like,
fantasy football
We
draft ever.
messaged him 100 times before that.
Yeah,
9 people were in that
Jordan,
draft.
where you at, bro? I'm
Nine
trying to find his team.
9 people were in that draft, and then Jordan.
No,
just
his running
tells us-
backs are DeAndre Swift, Joe Mixon,
and
and
Saquon.
fucking Saquon Barkley.
And he said
I
he's
mean, honestly, that's 3 pretty solid ones, but
No,
you
it's
need
not.
more
Oh
than
man,
3.
Mixon's fucking injury prone. Saquon's fucking injury prone, and Swift ain't that good.
Mixon has
go
only
to
ever
sleep.
got
You're
hurt one time.
He gets fucking injured every season.
Hey,
Just
Mike,
like
do
Clark
the
ain't
gritty
getting injured
Mixon
every
out
season.
this
A
week.
bunch of time. Mixon's
Mike
a
Booth,
dog.
do the gritty dance.
Stop with your Joe Mixon tape. I won't have it.
No, I can't do the gritty.
Mike, is that you? What do you got on right now? You got your Jefferson jersey on?
Yeah, I got the Jefferson colorway up.
Wait.
That's why you got to do the gritty dance.
What's
Yeah.
our 5-minute? What did I call it? It sounded so brilliant in my head.
Five-
When I came up with
5
it.
minutes non-sports, so talk about it. Hey, did anyone see Commons freestyle? Did you see it, Jay?
I haven't
Well,
seen it.
Did you see the Common
the fuck?
freestyle?
The common
How the
freestyle?
fuck y'all
No,
do a 2-hour show?
Oh, it was fucking fire.
We don't
honestly.
usually go on this long, but I don't know. I don't know what
Because we're
happened.
listening to your drunk ass, Shahan. You've dragged it
I'm
out
not drunk.
into the 2-hour mark.
I'm not drunk.
I saw you take a shot. You're drunk.
I got it for him as an anniversary gift. Okay,
Yes, he's
Jessica,
here.
that's what's up.
Okay,
That's what's up.
anniversary gift.
You know how to please your husband.
I wish I had an anniversary, let alone an anniversry gift.
Shout out to me. Shout out to
You gotta
me.
find somebody to tolerate you.
Hey, your anniversary gift is them child support checks you be sending.
Wow. Let's not even talk about that.
I'm about to be a daddy too in May.
Oh,
Congratulations.
there you go.
What's the due date?
Thank you. What?
When's the due date?
You said May.
May 18th.
Oh, he's coming on my birthday, the 31st.
We got married on the 13th of May, so we thought that would be really funny if the baby came on the 13th.
That'd be fire. Then you'd never forget your anniversary or your kid.
Exactly.
Or-
Just combine it all. That'd be nice,
Or
actually.
you'd forget them both.
That'd be terrible.
Cassie's really rooting for a girl, but you know me, I'm rooting for a boy, holding it down for a boy.
No.
Yeah, and make him a White Sox fan.
Fuck no.
Hell no.
Jesus Christ.
Don't
I
do
just
that,
position.
man.
Listen,
White Sox.
listen. The White Sox are winning right now and gonna go to the postseason. You go to Chicago, you barely even know they're in the fucking postseason because no one roots
You're
for the
like
White
the
Sox
Mets.
there, bro.
That's
No one
what-
roots for the White
Then
Sox
they'll
there.
be trash next year anyway.
Hey, White Sox and Bears fan, listen, it's all gravy.
Why you wishing the
Better
worst?
both, honestly.
I mean, I wish they cared. I wish they were giving a fuck a little bit about the Chicago Sky, who just made the playoffs, but for
I
the
don't-
WNBA. But they don't even
Why don't they give a
know
fuck
any
about it?
Bears fans right offhand other than MJ.
MJ.
Why-
Yeah.
why
Well,
is he a
my
Bears-
entire
why is he a
half
Bears
my
fan?
family are Bears fans. I can assure you, and I'm in this group text from my uncles, and they give me shit each week, and they. You would
Well,
think
they
that
fucking lost this
you
week, too.
listen though. You would think that Justin Fields is going to be the next fucking Patrick Mahomes next season if you listen to the messages
Oh,
I
they're
get
sure.
though.
They're
I mean,
sure.
He's the best quarterback they've ever had, bro.
Feels
Easily.
look pretty good.
He
He
really
hasn't
might
even
be
Yeah.
the-
I
played a real
agree.
game.
I agree with that, but you should have seen what they said when Trubisky was there. You should have seen what they said when Rex Grossman went to the Super Bowl. They should have won. You should have seen
Wow.
what they said when Jay Cutler was there. They underachieved. So
The
this is
gay
what Bears
butler.
fans do. This is what
Man,
Bears
Jake
fans
Cutler
do.
does not give a fuck about
And listen,
anything in life.
And listen, I don't care if Fields is playing. If Nagy's their coach, he ain't gonna win a lot. He might be really good, but he's not gonna win a lot.
LaFleur kicked the field goal. LaFleur kicked the field goal down 8.
You're right, bro.
That was a stupid fucking
And
thing.
listen, if we didn't get that flag thrown on us because Tom Brady gets bailed out at the end of the
I
game,
can't
we
stand
could have
that
won
was
that game.
bullshit too.
LaFleur
Raheem
cost me
Mostert,
money.
This just in. Raheem Mostert is made of peanut brittle.
Well, he's out for the
So are
fucking
you,
season.
Dom. Your bones are
Here's
made
the-
of less than peanut
But
brittle.
here's the
But
here's the
did you
thing,
see
it
who
don't
they
matter for
signed
the
to replace
49ers.
him?
They can have they run by a committee anyway.
Yeah.
Did
They're
you
not
see
running
who they
by
signed
the
to
That's what the
replace him
Niners
today?
do.
LaFleur
Yeah, but
kicked
how
a
we know that
field
their other
goal.
running backs are going to be good? We
Did
don't
you
know
see who
that.
they
He should
signed
got
to
fired
replace
for
him
kicking a
today?
field goal.
Well, you
in a
guys all
playoff
don't
game.
you're not high on Sermon?
I mean, I think he's okay, but what isn't he like a rookie? Like, I don't know. Like,
That
This
Williams
guy-
dude tore it up. Plus, they just signed Carry-On
Yeah, but Brett-
I know he was a good college player.
Breda was good last year for them, right? Like they usually do a committee.
I don't know,
That's
man.
what
We'll
that's
see.
what the 49ers do.
Breida went
Yeah,
somewhere
I'm not
else,
talking
I
about
thought.
this week. I'm not talking about Philadelphia and the 49ers.
I'm not talking about it either. I need to see more before I say, yeah, they're
I
going to
don't
be
know. I
all right.
kind of agree with Tyler. They kind of do it by committee. I mean, don't get me wrong. Mostert,
It's like New
a
England.
big
They're-
loss. He's a good player, but like you don't pick them on your fantasy team because they're not consistently getting used. You know, they're in and out. They're all sharing the ball, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I made that
That's how he
mistake
does
with
his offense,
Raheem
but-
Mostert. Shame on me. That's in my big money league too.
Well,
This is non-sports related though, Dom. So go on. What is your
one time,
topic going to be?
shame
We
on
Non-football
talked about chicken
related.
wings last week.
I gotta pick the topic every week now.
No,
You didn't
anyone
fucking
can.
pick it last week. I picked it.
Yeah, we were talking about chicken wings, and I just brought up the common freestyle that no one saw but me.
Hey
so.
man, lemon pepper.
Did you guys see the Matrix trailer though? Fire.
I
Fire.
missed
Fuck
that. I meant to go look at. Forgot to go check it out though.
Did you
Keanu
like?
Reeves
The,
in
did
it?
you like the? Did you like the
Okay,
Matrix
who would win-
series?
Who would win in a fight
Oh, absolutely.
between
Matrix was.
The trailer's so fire, Mike. Go ahead.
between
Who's winning a
Thanos and Omni-Man from Invincible?
Thanos is fucking
Thanos.
dragging him. With or without the
Thanos.
gauntlet, Thanos is dragging that dude.
Nah, not without the gauntlet.
Yeah, he's dragging
Crazy.
him.
I don't know, bro.
Nah.
Omni can throw hands, bro. If it's a hand-to-hand fight,
We talking about the
Thanos,
comic
but,
book
hey,
Thanos?
yo, didn't Hulk choke the fuck
I don't
out
know.
of
That's a
Thanos,
good
bro?
one. That's a good one.
I don't know.
I could see I could see Thanos and I could see Omni Man too. Man, shit, that's actually.
I don't know. I got Thanos all day.
Hey,
on
Tyler, are you a tattoo artist, bro?
Yeah, bro. I got you on an appointment. You want to come in? That was so wild when people would say that to me when I was there because I was just like, "What?"
So wait, you're saying you're not a tattoo artist?
Are you not a
No,
tattoo artist,
no.
bro?
I'm not. I wish I could even put the stencil on y'all, but I couldn't.
Mind blown.
It's-
It
I
must
get all
Get a
crooked
fucking
and fucked
disease
up.
from
I had
Tyler.
to do it. I had to mess with you, man.
I know you're being a wise ass tonight.
He's not drunk.
No, you guys should see him. You guys should see him in my Cage Rangers group when we do predictions. Like he'll be like, "Who are you picking, Tyler?" All right, I'm gonna go with the other guy. But people know.
That's what he does.
But people know that I'm pretty good with my MMA, so you should see Jahan's records at the end of these things every single
You got the
time.
worst fucking record in the league.
So what?
It's funny though. It is funny because I'm just
So
like,
what?
God, this
More opposite.
motherfucker, bro. This motherfucker is picking this huge underdog. I'm like, just
Jahan is
agree
a-
with me for one.
Jahan
Damn.
is a Jake Paul sexual.
Listen,
Yes.
He fucking loves that dude.
Listen, I just got into it with my friend because my friend's like, "Oh, Holyfield's gonna win this week," and I said, "Bro, Holyfield is 100,
Bro, there's
and he's
people out
fighting
here-
Vitor Belfort. He's gonna get knocked the fuck out." And he did
what
in like
happened in
10
the
There's
first
seconds.
people out here that
forgot
saying
that was
that
happening.
Jake Paul is the next generational fighter. Like
Hey, man.
I'd say
Boyd-
give him Anderson Silva
Boyd
the way
was the
Silva's
best.
boxing now. Like
Boyd
Mike
was the
said.
best of
He's
his
the Ali of
generation.
our generation.
He's like he's gonna be the goat of this.
Man, what?
generation.
Oh God!
Whose man's is this?
He's the Floyd of our
generation.
generation.
Jahan
play for
loves
real
Jake Paul for some reason. Jahan and Jake
I don't know
Paul
why you
fan.
love him, bro.
Whole
He's the
life
Floyd of
over
our
one.
generation.
He's a fucking YouTuber.
I can't
They
even
put
talk
on-
anymore. I'm
you know,
so
they-
mad.
they
at
put
you.
I'd say book Tom. I
Are
want
you,
Tommy Fury.
subscribed to his channel?
Did
I
you,
want him.
did you,
I want him to
did you
box
see him
Tommy
drop
Fury.
Ben Askren? Did you see him drop
I've
Ben
already got the
Askren?
bell notifications and
No.
everything for that. man.
Askren, don't bring up Askren. He's trash. He can't fight. He can't box.
Did
What are
you
you talking
see?
about?
Did you see? Did you
But-
see Tyron Woodley get?
If Paul wants to
He's
prove
He's
himself,
fucking washed, bro. He won't fight anybody that's good. He fights a bunch
Let
of
me
washed
see him
up
fight a
bones.
box. Let me see him fight an actual boxer that's within
he needs
Tommy
to
Fury.
get that Fury fight.
Tommy,
Fight
yeah,
Paul.
Tommy
He'll
Fury
die
is
in
what
the
needs to
fucking
happen
ring.
next.
Tommy Fury fight needs to happen because that's the only way if he wants
gotta
to
know
make
Tommy
him
Fury.
as a boxer, no one's gonna take him seriously.
Oh,
No, he won, Jahan.
Wrestler.
Tommy Fury won.
No, I'm saying he's gonna dog Tommy Fury.
Oh, and it went.
Jake-
through, dude.
No, he's not, bro.
Paul will dog
If
Tommy.
he does,
Fury.
then he proves
No, he's
everybody
not.
wrong.
He's gonna. He'll fucking lose that 100%.
I think he'll lose because he's fighting
He's
a real
smart.
boxer. But
Tommy
Tommy
Fury is a
trained with his
bum.
brother Tyson, bro. I don't know if he's Jake's just gotta get it.
Tommy Fury is a bum.
like that.
he needs to take that. He needs to take that fight because he needs to prove himself if he actually wants to be taken seriously in the sport going
Jake
forward.
don't need to
Not-
take
Yeah, I
no
don't like-
fight.
I
He's
don't-
gonna fight
I don't
that
like-
win money.
I don't like him calling out Jorge Masvidal. I'm tired of the MMA thing. Let's see if
He
he
has
can
a
actually beat
fucking
a
list
boxer.
of people he says he's gonna. It's like his hit list or whatever.
Yeah, Canelo was on that list, Jahan, your boyfriend.
Oh hell no!
Canelo will murder him.
Hell
in the
no.
ring.
Now
Like, I mean, legitimately. Like, I
he's
mean,
barking up the
that's
wrong tree. He's barking up the wrong tree.
Listen, Canelo is Jahan's like Drake of combat sports. Like Jahan
Yeah,
loves
yeah,
Canelo.
yeah, for
I
sure.
knew.
Oh, that's
Canelo's
I
a
do
great
love
fighter. He's a great fighter. Jake would get murdered right away. Like
Right
Jake
away.
Paul would get
right
murdered.
away. Like he wouldn't know what to do with that. He would
Me
have
and
no
Jahan,
idea.
me and Jahan, by the way,
One
got a
round.
bet on that Wilder and Fury fight. I picked Fury. He's got Wilder, so
I
we're
got
gonna
Fury.
we're gonna do a shot bet
Yeah,
on
Fury
that.
gonna
Wilder.
kill him again.
Huh?
I'm going Wilder.
How many
too.
you want to do? How many?
Okay, so we got we
many you
got
wanna do,
two.
Tyler?
Who do you got, Mike?
I got Fury.
Okay, Dom, who you got?
This is fight number 3,
Listen, Mike's got on a Minnesota jersey. How good is he at picking stuff this week?
Oh, shut your ass up, bro. You gonna
right?
make,
Right, for real.
you
I
gonna
got
make
Fury.
us get jinxed.
Jay,
I got
who you
Fury.
got?
I said I got Fury. Fury's gonna kill him decisively.
Who you got, Dom?
I got
block,
Dom,
block
bro.
this man. Block this
You got
man.
Fury
This is
or
a
Wilder?
rivalry.
Jason Tatum. Block this man. Block this man up here in the top right
Jesus
corner.
Christ.
It's a rivalry, bro. It's gonna be.
So we got
These
3 to
fights
2
are
on
gonna
picks.
always be back and forth.
forth.
I'm going with Wilder, bro. I got
Dominic,
this. I think he
Dominic, don't act like this. Dominic,
Are you
you're
still-
acting up.
are you
I don't
still
appreciate it.
talking?
Are you still
Don't act like this,
talking?
Dominic.
Good God.
Wow.
By the way, Mike's
With your-
wife sided with you, Mike. Good wife, you know. She
Yeah.
sided with you there.
He said
With your,
Thanos.
with your grandmother glasses, don't be like this, Dominic.
Oh my god.
Stop fronting like you're sober when it's obvious that you're not. Either that or you're just a jack.
He's 1,000% sober, bro.
I'm not buying that. That is all Crown in that cup.
Just straight,
Gotta be.
nothing else.
Just straight Crown, no ice.
It's Fanta.
Just
Can you
warm.
can you even smell or taste yet, John?
I can't. I still can't. I still can't.
You still can't?
I still-
Damn.
All right, since we're kind of out of debates and we've been on here for 2 fucking hours, I think that we should end the show before we stay here all night.
Right.
Yeah.
But shout out to you guys for being here, and shout out to everybody for watching. You guys can catch us on Tuesday nights, talking about everything going on in the world of the NFL and whatnot. So, anybody want to give some shout outs before we check up out of here?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ty.
I got a shout out to Megan Price. The Sip Off is on Thursday nights, hosted by her, Anthony Brown, and Jahan Phillips here on my right at 8 o'clock on Thursday nights. Also, I'm going to do a Cage Ragers video chat with Jahan on my corner here for the Anthony Smith and Ryan Spann fight on Saturday. So we're going to do it Saturday morning. The fight's on Saturday evening. Should be a good fight.
Hell yeah, it will.
Myself and Tyler have an oddly formatted debate on Thursday on the NFL Carousel at 7.
I have to stick up for the Lions. It's really weird.
It's going to be wild. I have to burp like I'm a Packers fan, and worse still is Tyler having to defend the Lions. Godspeed, buddy.
Good luck with that, bro. That's
a tough task.
It's only like
and it's
only like a 3 or 4 minute segment, but Alex Fleming came up with it. Alex Fleming's a good guy, so yeah, we'll run with it. I'll figure it out.
No,
I could never do that, bro.
No.
it was Alex Fleming's doing. I'm just going with the flow here.
Volunteered. I didn't even know what he was talking about at first. I was like, I'm in.
Hey man, shout out to y'all boys letting me on finally. Dominic, I'm not even close to lit. First off.
Well, why not?
Second of all, go Eagles. That's all you need. Also, Carson Wentz played a decent game. I'm happy about that.
He played a decent game. Hurts played a great game.
I'm happy about Carson playing a decent game in his first game back.
He didn't get hurt.
And he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, he didn't get hurt.
Are you going to mention your former quarterback's loss before your current quarterback's win? Oh, you did say go Eagles first. Okay, never mind. Kind of.
Jahan's doing the game thread this week since James is going to be probably on YouTube or something.
James is going, but I'm like superstitious, man.
Are you docking it? Like, are you going to do it on your Philly Gym thing like you did last year?
I'm going I'm doing tailgating.
I'm going to week 5. Week 5, Eagles Panthers. I'll be there.
Oh, okay.
Good luck with that. We'll probably definitely win that game. So,
yeah, you guys will win that game.
I think so too.
It's a good one to go to, honestly.
That's so sure.
Dom, you got any shout outs?
Nope.
Other than this show?
Nope, just this one.
Jay, go ahead, Jay.
I already did mine.
Yeah, you catch me on here Tuesday nights with the damn. You can catch me on here on Tuesday nights at the Sports Gauntlet. Also, you can find me on the Sip Off, which is coming back this Thursday with Megan Price, AB, and Han McClain down here.
You gonna be on? Are you gonna be on this week?
I'm on this week.
Hell yeah.
Also, I'm on Visual Dramatics on Roku, averaging 1 million streams a month. We just hit 1 year this month.
Cookies and whiskey or something is his name.
You can find me on there. Shout out Craig Davis, Marshall Hill, my unconventional Kings fan. I'll see y'all next week.
See y'all next week. Thanks for watching.
13.